It's Monday morning. Collide Live is back on the air, and debauchery is about to happen. We have lost a Josh Macuga and a Brett Sheridan, but we have gained a Bob Finstock on today's show. And joining me, as always, is my co-host. She's the lovely Reilly. No, I'm kidding. Roxy Striar. Hello, Roxy.
I could feel that one coming from a mile away.
I felt it too. I felt it too. Hence why I said it.
I looked down. I was like, he's going to do it.
But how you doing?
You know.
Yeah?
You know.
What's do you know because of, Voldemort's in the...
There's so many things that happen in the morning. You need your peace and your peace of mind. And there is no such thing with him.
Not with him. Well, there was an audible that was called last night, and I'll talk about it in a little bit, why Bob Finstock is in studio today. Yeah. Mark Yodius Reilly.
Yeah,
how are you, sir?
I'm very well.
I like your shirt.
Thank you. I like it a lot.
It's the good
Schmoedown.
Oh, yeah, that's a good shirt. Listen, man, the Schmoedown Awards happen on Saturday afternoon. We did them at the Comedy Store in the main room. Thank you to the Comedy Store. Thank you to the staff that was there. Thank you to our crew: Thad Williams, Cobbster, RB3, Cameron, Brett Sheridan,
Alex.
Brett Sheridan was there?
Yep, yeah. Good. Thanks for paying attention.
I was only there for 5 minutes. I had to do stuff.
I know. So this imbecile.
You missed all the fun.
Wait, hold on. Your skin looks great.
Thank you.
What are you doing to it? Do you use bronzer? What do you use?
No, I use. I don't really use
bronzer on
You had a bronzer mishap.
I did have a bronzer mishap.
What happened?
I didn't use bronzer. So, if you saw in my, so this is what I did. I wanted to get a tux this year, for. What happened, the Schmoedown Awards landed on this Saturday, and the next day was a Critics' Choice Award. So I'm just going to get a tux for both. I'm just take care of it, make sure. So I got this Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom type tux. It's the white tux with the black. And
it was a good-looking tux.
It looked good, right? I liked it. So
he looked good. He looked good.
I had it, and I'm like, okay. And I kept it pristine for the whole entire Schmoedown Awards.
I know, because what did I keep asking you to do that you wouldn't do?
You wanted me to wear it to the afterwards. You wanted me to
Everybody
wear it.
was wearing their fancy
Like,
clothes.
and I said if I wasn't going to the awards somewhere, I would, because, and what happened? We were eating those nachos, and you wiped off something off my pants.
Yeah.
Something hit my pants.
Yep.
And I'm like, that would have been my tux. I've been pissed. So it was all good to go. And I show up to the Critics' Choice Awards. We don't even get in the thing. And I hug somebody. It was a friend of mine. I'm not gonna put him on blast. And they didn't do it on purpose. They had bronzer on.
Oh boy,
Like a ton.
It hits the top of my shoulder, and Finstock goes, "It's not good." And I go, "What?" And he looks down. And he goes, "It's something on your shoulder." And I look down, and it's just this dirt. And he goes, "I'll tell you what." He goes, "That wasn't there 5 minutes ago."
Yep.
And so
we can't.
I knew where it happened.
It sucks. We all do it.
I get it.
Sucks.
And I didn't. And I talked to this friend that did it like 10 times last night. She didn't know, and I wasn't gonna make her feel guilty about it.
Oh, you didn't tell her?
No, I didn't want to.
You gotta, as the woman in the situation, or the person wearing bronzer. You could be a man too. You gotta know about the neck extend.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then I was a little more cautious. I put some seltzer on. It was a little better towards it. It was dark in there.
But
so
first you were going, licking your finger and trying to get it off.
Oh, that's bad.
And I was like,
at first, he's like, it's gonna make it worse.
Dab, don't rub.
Yeah,
that's what I told him.
He was right.
I gave him everything, and you know what?
Water.
It kind of looks good.
It looked better.
It looked way better.
We're gonna talk about the Critics' Choice, and there's so much to talk about because this guy coming with me last night was something to talk about. But But the Schmoedown Awards, man, it was really cool. At the Comedy Store, like I said, full staff was there. The amount of competitors that were there, it felt like a nighttime event because it's so dark in there.
I got toasted.
Yeah, everybody did.
Yeah, I got toasted.
Yeah, everybody was hammered. It was great.
Was it whiskey?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Walking out of that thing and then looking is like it's still
daytime. You know, it
Then
felt like
I
night.
didn't go home until 9 p.m.
Right, because everybody partied, and there were tons of fans there.
Yeah.
I had my favorite part about the night. Honestly, it went. Ellis is a tremendous host. We know this. And by the way,
he's great.
He's so good.
I think better than last year. And last year was amazing. He was
in his element.
Yeah.
He's getting better and better.
Yeah, he was in his element at the Comedy Store in the main room. And I got a ton of comments from fans that weren't able to go. Obviously, you didn't live in L.A. Well, man, I heard it was so good. Can I see it? You can. On the 25th, the day before the New York Live event, we are going to air it on the Schmoedown channel, so it's just youtube.com/the Schmoedown. Head on over there, subscribe, and you can see it on the 25th. It'll be up. The whole entire awards will be there, and it was a great show from start to finish, and I got a lot of great comments from people. There were a lot of people who had never seen the Schmoedown before that were like guests of people, and it was my favorite.
Interesting.
There was a comment that was like, "Hey, I've never watched it, but either my boyfriend took me, my girlfriend took me. I'm gonna start watching it."
I had a couple people come up to me and say that, including actually Emma, the girl who designed this behind you. This amazing piece of art that has like all of our inside jokes and amazing things from the show on it. Her boyfriend loves Schmoedown. And she was like, he just kind of told me everything to do, but now that I drew this, came to this, I'm definitely going to start binging.
It was really cool to find, because there were a lot of people, there were competitors, new competitors that were in the audience, and they were excited to compete this year, and now they really want to be a part of it, because you just saw the way that it moved, and it made me realize, you guys know how much I love this thing, but we're doing good things. We're doing good things. I had a great conversation with you, how much more you want to get involved in it.
I really do.
Yeah, and I can't wait to have you.
In a non-competitive kind of way.
I know the manager. You'll be a good one. So there's a lot of things, guys, that like I said, you can do that. You can check that out on the 25th. And yeah, I mean, not to get too much into it, but my favorite moment of the night was when we gave the Yodi Award to Schnepp.
I thought you guys did such an amazing job with that.
Thank you.
I didn't know what was coming, and wow.
I heard it was a tearjerker.
Oh, yeah, I mean
where were you?
Yeah, tell us. Can I tell you? Let me set the story with this guy. I tell him, this is going to surprise no one.
Yeah.
I tell him weeks ago that block it out. Schmoedown Awards are happening on the whatever this was, the 12th, right? Block it out. And I put him on as a presenter and everything too. I call him. He doesn't call me. I call him. I go, "You ready? When is it? What do you mean, when is it? It's on Saturday." "I know, but like, what time am I going to be there?" I'm like, "For the whole thing." "Well, here's the problem." What's the problem?" "I got to work."
Yeah.
Why didn't you take off?" I mean, I didn't know it was going to be here.
It was a Shazam. He was doing Shazam.
Yeah, but
You're doing what for Shazam?
He is Shazam.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Well, just running around.
Just running around.
Yeah, just doing some stuff with the camera and stuff.
It's a great job.
I wasn't
cool.
on Reilly's boat this time.
You weren't on it this time.
I was not.
You're gonna pick those wounds.
I was not there.
You're gonna pick
the
those
boat's
wounds.
gone anyway. So
Yeah, the
If
boat's
he
gone.
had told you from the beginning
That he was working, then I would have. But
Look, I am a freelance guy, okay?
Freelance idiot.
So I'm working today, but I'm not even there.
he
So I mean, I don't know.
He
I'm here.
called you though. It's not like you called him and said, "Hey man, I actually have work. Is there a way that I can pop by for an hour?"
No.
He
I was
called
going to
you.
call him. Here's the deal, Roxy. Let me tell you something.
What's the deal?
Sometimes I'm able to leave for blocks of hours at times. If
I know.
It's possible.
I know people you work with.
If it's possible, I can do that. So, I had a toothache thing suddenly arise, and I was able to disappear for about 2 hours. Now, usually I work in Hollywood, but this was in Santa Monica, so it's very hard to get back and forth.
Right.
Luckily, it was a Saturday and it was raining, so all the idiots who drive around aimlessly doing nothing on a Saturday causing traffic didn't happen to be out. So I was able to get there and back in 15, 20 minutes. I came in, knocked it out.
Look,
said
to
goodbye,
his
said what's up to
credit,
everybody, kissed a bunch of girls, and that was it.
You didn't kiss anyone. The most.
He kissed literally no one.
No one. Well, the thing is with him when
I did. I kissed somebody.
It
was Clark.
was a piano in
It might have been. Yeah, it was somebody. It might have been Jen Sturger.
I think it was a piano in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You have to pick the
been
two people in
might
the
have been Frank
longest
Janis.
term relationships that you could mess up right
might have
now.
been
Did
Frank
you have
Janis.
to throw somebody else's name out?
Might have been
Might
Frank.
have been,
It was Roca.
It might have been Roca.
It might
It
have
was
been
Roca.
It did, you know what?
possible.
It was Roca.
It was Roca. Good
Yeah.
job.
Or Snyder.
But to his credit, the thing was he shows up on time.
I was there.
I don't think he realized. I think he showed up
he
thinking
got
that he was
lucky.
late, and he shows up and he's like, "When am I going on?" I'm like, "You're actually up in 2." He's like, "I'm gonna make it." I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna make it." So he gets on stage, does it, got some laughs, threw some shirts into the audience, and then he just disappeared.
No, it wasn't shirts. What were you?
Yeah, there was
Shirts.
shirts and stickers.
Shirts and stickers.
Oh,
for my new
I
show.
just saw stickers.
I got one of those stickers.
Did you?
Yeah.
How is it?
It's great. It's on my computer.
You said your new show.
Yeah.
What's your new show?
My new show is Lil Bobby and the Juice. It's going to be the best web series in the history of web series.
You
It's
know,
incredible.
I've seen this trailer.
I
Yeah.
saw the
This
trailer
trailer
as
is
well.
ridiculous.
Let me tell you.
Thank you.
So he called me up and he said, "I want you to take a look at this trailer that I have, this Little Bobby and the Juice." and I watched it. And he's like, "You think it's something that like you guys can put on a collider?" And I said, "Absolutely not."
No.
And he said, "Is it something that like you'd put on Schmoes?" I'm like, "Nope."
Yeah.
But he goes, "Did you think it was funny?" And I go, "Very." It is offensive.
Oh yeah.
It is absolutely. Just put the trailer in. Little Bobby and the Juice. It is absolutely offensive, and it is something that I don't know how you're going to pull it off, but I know that you can.
I've pulled off crazier stuff.
It is. Listen, it reminds me of Team America,
Yeah,
but even more offensive.
Not to throw you under the bus, Kristian, but you know what he actually took from your conversation?
What?
So when I believe it was Reilly, Macuga, and I that Finstock decided to show this to.
Yeah,
and he said,
at lunch.
He said, "Listen, Kristian says that I might be able to air this
On Collider?
on Collider."
I said that?
He did say that.
As long as
Yeah.
you get Fernandez to sign on to it.
Yeah.
Which is totally.
It's absolutely not what I
Which is
said.
totally the
I
Fernandez
have
will
a
never
text
sign
message.
on to
I
that.
have a text message.
What I said to him was, listen, I can't make the decisions inside a Collider. Do I think that it's going to be right for Collider? No. Do I think that Fernandez will sign off on it? No. But do you want to pitch it to him? Sure. That's more along the
He
lines.
loved
So
it.
before he
Did he
goes
see
to
it? Did Fernandez see it yet?
He loved it. He watched it on the plane 4 times in a row.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said, "Let's talk about it."
When is that? When did you get that text? This morning?
No. When he was hunting snakes in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Whatever he was doing.
Crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, he's hunting snakes.
Yeah.
Do you
that
see
is-
every
that
post
is
of his
wild.
now? He is obsessed with snakes.
Yeah.
Where did he
Yeah,
get him?
I love
where does he
snakes
get
too,
him?
actually.
He's
Florida.
running around the Everglades, like looking at snakes. He
has one with a cottonmouth. He's like saying hi.
He's walking into like the
And I'm
locker
like-
room, and there's one sticking out of like a box, and he's just like, "Oh, hi, Ralph." And takes a picture of the
I'm
thing.
gonna take a life insurance policy out on him. I think.
You're not a dumb person to
do
do
that?
that.
Yeah,
you
you
should.
could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You want, I have like 5 life insurance policies right now on everybody.
on Friends.
Oh yeah,
Good.
Yeah, I pay like $600 a month for it. That's why I got to work.
All right.
You know.
Yeah, it's smart.
Fair
So
enough.
it's like when these people croak, I'm in.
So he goes to show it to us, and I ask him beforehand, "Is this gonna be sexist? I'm about to watch something," and he said,
It's everything.
"I said,
it's
this is
everything.
gonna be racist." He said,
Well, look, it's 8 episodes. 8 episodes are in the can.
It's
"Is
satire.
this gonna offend me?"
It's satire. That's all it is.
It's absolute satire, and everyone who watches it will be offended.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
absolutely.
here's what the
But he
deal
did a
is.
pretty good job with it.
Let me-
absolutely.
was.
Let me tell you something. I've been researching this for a long time to find dolls that would play to the characters I need to make this happen. So as I write, I'm like, I need a big fat mess. I'm like, where am I going to find a big fat mess doll? You know what I mean? Right. But I found one.
I know you did. Look, here's all I want the
What are you
audience.
Googling?
Wait, I want the audience to do something. Go over to the Little Bobby and Juice trailer, watch it, and in the comment section, I want you to write, "I'm offended" or "This is awesome."
Yeah.
That's it. Or
That's it.
Or "I'm offended, but this is awesome."
Yeah.
Or "I'm offended and this is terrible."
But look,
I legit want to see what the audience thinks about this thing because I think it's the most offensive thing I've seen in a long time. But I
Yeah.
also think it's
The
it's
first
funny.
the first episode is called Reverse Hitler.
Well, what's that?
there
I
it
don't even
is.
want to know what that is.
It's basically
You know what? I don't want to know.
No,
I
we
don't
take
even want-
I
I don't
take
even-
it back. I don't care.
there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with it. Look, it's going to be 8 episodes. It's gonna put me on the map. I'm going to be I'm going to be up for Webbies.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at the Critics' Choice Awards as
For
a
that?
presenter.
For that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It's not going to be free though.
Will you give me? I want you to text me later, and I want you to tell me what the consensus was from the audience that did the comments on your
Oh,
trailer.
I think they're absolutely going to love it.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to
It's
talk about
Bobby.
All right, I don't want to talk.
It was an outlet for me.
I don't want
It's
to
an
talk about
outlet.
it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm going to come on when we launch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now moving on because there were so many people, and you told me which was nice as well too when we were at the Schmoedown Awards was that a lot of Collider Live fans.
Tons,
Yeah.
tons.
A lot of Collider Live fans.
We did a audience shout out at one point, and it was like every single person in there.
Yeah.
which was really cool to see.
It was cool, and then afterwards I was talking to a lot of the fans, and there was this one guy who was he's from Vegas and he's a big fan, and he introduced me to his wife. I guess they were together for like 5 years, and I was like, "You look so familiar." I'm like, "Why do you look so familiar?" And she's like, "I was the villain on the first season of Rock of Love," and I was like, "Absolutely, that's how I know you."
That is ridiculous.
It was
Rock of Love?
Rock
yeah,
of
the
Love.
Brett
You
Michaels
remember-
show. Yeah, the Brett Michaels
Oh,
show. I
right,
loved
right,
that
yeah.
show.
Was it Becca?
No, I used to watch that show.
I'm Becca.
I used to watch that show all the time. So like, you looked so familiar, but they were sweet, man. They were just this very sweet couple, big fans of it. Want us to do something in Vegas. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
I wouldn't
not?
mind that.
Let's do it, man. Vinyl Live, Schmoedown, whatever it might be.
That's cool.
1,000-seat venue.
It's going to be a big
Yeah.
year for the Schmoedown.
I think so too. I think we're gonna do some good stuff.
It was a big show. I was not even expecting that many people to be there.
It was good. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I think that from what it was year 1 to year 2, now to year 3. But then I knew
A
that
love triangle we should do.
What?
We should do a love triangle between me, Roxy, and Emma.
Oh, you mean for Schmoedown?
Yeah.
No,
Why?
because it's stupid.
That's something.
Yeah, we'll just sit in the room and
What do
the
you mean?
lights off.
And then we'll just tape that?
Yeah.
Just sitting in silence? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's pretty much what you're
Just
describing.
just staring. You the three are staring at it.
No one even knows who's in the room.
That's a viral video right there.
I think so too.
Sounds pretty viral.
I'm just that guy.
I love that crap. All right, but let's get away from that because you pitching storylines is probably one of the worst things that's
Yeah,
ever
that's
possibly
horrible.
happened.
Sorry, we can go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, no shit. So let's move on to now. I knew the next day was coming, and last year,
What were you more excited for?
Schmoedown Awards. The Critics' Choice Awards were super fun. I'm glad to be a part of the BFCA and to be able to vote and nominate. It's great, and it's a super honor, and I love being part of it. And I had a great time last year, and I was excited to go this year. This year, my first choice was my wife, but she couldn't go.
Because of kids?
Kids didn't have anybody in town, so then last year I took Fernandez.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he's out of town. He was out of town.
Would you have taken him again?
This year I wanted to go a little different. I mean, I was gonna. He told me he was bummed. He wanted to go again, and I also didn't think he wanted to go 2 years in a row. So, sure, I would have taken him again. But I was like,
Fighting
who am I going to
snakes.
take? I was thinking of a couple different people. I was going to take you. I was going to take.
But then he didn't.
I was going to take Bonnie. I was going to take
then he didn't.
Dorina.
No, then he
I
didn't.
thought about Reilly.
No, then he didn't.
I thought about Macuga, and I said,
didn't
no, you know
happen.
what? The two best people I've ever seen in my life that can get into parties, that can do some fun stuff, and have great nights. They're two people that I've in my history so far of being in this business.
Dorina and Finstock.
Yes, Dorina and Finstock.
Serena does well.
Those are.
That's what he says.
She's better than you.
She's hot.
She's
She's a chick.
She is. She is
can
hot.
Can we talk about what we're
Okay.
talking about?
Okay.
here?
She's a girl. Of course, she can get into
That
places.
has nothing to do with it. She doesn't use that at all.
Okay.
She doesn't use it at all. She is great with the power of words.
Yep.
She has the superpower.
That's always a good thing.
She's got the superpower.
Which made it onto the poster behind you.
Power of words.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Persuasion.
So anyway, but I said I'm gonna take Finstock, and in my text that I told you guys last week, it said, "Hey, I'm gonna take you. Don't dress like a moron." And so
I think it said no weird shit.
no weird shit. That's what it was. It was like don't dress like a weirdo.
And he,
He shows up. He shows up to my house yesterday, and he's got this kimono or whatever it is.
that's what he wore to my holiday party.
The same thing to the Critics' Choice Awards as an ugly sweater party. I just want to be clear about that.
But listen,
Yeah.
you guys are going to be shocked at this whole story because then he also wore it in a Schmoedown with no shirt on. Remember, there was one of those too. So,
Did you
do
say
you remember what
anything?
match? Do you remember what match that was? Because I'd like to bring it up in the back.
I
and
think
don't
it
want
was
the
like
guys
a
to dive in.
Patriots thing, possibly.
This is like 10 Patriots match. Forget it.
Did you say anything when he shows up at your house?
I did. I
Oh, it
turned.
might have been told. It might have been AfterBuzz.
Don't. No, it wasn't. It was last season. Just go to sleep.
Okay.
It was. He shows up, and he walks in, and I go because he has a black turtleneck on, and he has like
Cashmere.
these Gucci pants on and these shoes.
$1,000.
And I look over and I go, all right. I was on board. I was on board with it. I said,
Katie even liked it. She's like, you look fabulous.
It worked. It worked. And I shit you not.
Do you own a suit?
He wouldn't look good in a suit.
I don't wear suits.
Yeah, someone was
Do
talking
you
about.
own one?
I have 10 of them. I have like $7,000 worth of suits in my house.
Let me tell you something. As far as like all the people that I mentioned, all would have been great guests. I regret nothing.
Oh my god.
He was phenomenal, a phenomenal guest.
I'm so mad about
I
that.
had so much fun with this lunatic.
Can you tell me more?
Yes.
Remember
we
those two
had-
Asian guys bowed to me?
Yeah, that is true. We walked
What?
it. Yes,
Yeah.
well, that is absolutely true. Guys. I'm telling you, it was a phenomenon. When I saw people were coming up to him every 10 minutes, going, "Your jacket is amazing." This was the end conversation between this guy and I swear to God, I bet you this guy was like a legit billionaire. And the guy comes up to him and he says like, "Oh my God, this jacket is incredible." And he said, "Where did you get it?" And of course, the lunatic liar goes, "I bought it in Japan." He's like, "I lived there for like 3 years." And the guy goes, and this is what he's telling people all night. And then the guy goes, "Well, where in Japan?" And he panics for a split second. And he goes, where was it? He said, Tokyo. and then the guy, he goes, this vintage 80s Gucci. And the guy goes, oh, man. And he turns, his wife's there. And he's like, oh, who's this? Lovely, lovely jacket. And the guy turns to his wife and goes, it's vintage Gucci from the 80s. And they have this long conversation. And he's like, yeah. And he's just like, what? It went on. You could take 10 conversations throughout the night.
Oh, he was down the rabbit hole.
It was the most entertaining shit, just telling people left and right about where he got it, who he was. He told some guy that, who was the one guy that when we were standing on the side, and
Boots Reilly?
No, Boots Reilly. He had a conversation with. He was talking to Boots.
He was wearing a bathrobe.
He was wearing a bathrobe, and he goes like, I love. And Finstock goes, I love the look, Boots, and he's like, brother, I love yours.
Yeah.
And, he's talking to Spike Lee about the Knicks. I mean, it was incredible.
I was like, look, Spike, what's the deal? The Knicks are terrible.
He did.
And he's like, it's called tanking. And I go, you guys getting Zion Williams from Duke? He's like, it's called tanking. Yeah. Then he was like fighting with Tay Diggs, and
there was
I met
fighting with Tay Diggs
for the shtick in the award
I met
show.
Ben Stiller in the bathroom.
Oh, is that true? You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. I'm like, how's it going? He's like, what, me taking a pee? I'm like, the whole shebang. You know the whole shebang. And he's like, the whole shebang.
Is this a real conversation?
Yeah, 100%.
I can bet. I can
And
guarantee you.
as
Some
he
of the
was
stuff.
leaving, I go, squeeze it easy, man. He's like, squeeze it easy. He's like, what the fuck? And he took off. And then I said the same thing to Angela Bassett. She was also in the bathroom.
Squeeze it easy.
But now I know you're lying.
That part was lying.
It was a gender neutral one.
But yeah, no, that part you're lying.
Yeah,
but
that's why.
But
But
the
the Stiller one's true.
Stiller one
Learn to
was
pull
true.
back, you know?
But
Yeah.
he was going up. He's going up to people at the bar, and this one guy's been making him drinks, and he's like, "Hey, Poppy, how's it going?" and the guy and the guy's like, "Hey, my man," and he's like best friends with the guy. He's like, "Yeah, this guy takes care of me." He goes, "Give me the usual. We've been there 10 minutes." It was incredible. It was everything that I wanted for him.
Is it ever, for lack of better words, embarrassing?
No. He just
It never
because
is.
because it's not one
Well,
of
it
the.
wouldn't be embarrassing for you.
People
it's-
gravitate towards me.
Yes,
That is true. I've
he's
always
not,
seen that.
He's not lying. That's the thing. There are people that I've been friends with that try to put on like a shtick when they're sitting with someone trying to be like really entertaining, and they're not. Like perfect examples. So Perry, by the way, has become like my ride or die when it comes to the Critics'
She was
Choice
great
Awards.
last night.
Oh, she's incredible. So she. Her and I are at the end of the night. We're walking through. We're talking to some people, and I ran into Ryan Coogler, who I've interviewed a couple times. We were
Good
kind of
buddy of
shooting
mine.
this shit. He's a good dude. I was talking to him. He did ask for you, actually. I was talking to.
Is that true?
Yes, and not asked for him. When I walked up, when I interviewed Ryan Coogler back for the first Creed, I told him about my friend who had a Stallone mug, and he's like, "Well, he's got a Stallone mug." I said, "Yeah," and I brought it. I brought the Stallone mug. I brought the
There's
Stallone mug
pictures
with me,
with it.
and I showed him, and I said, "This is my buddy's," and he's like, "Whoa, what is that? That's legit." And then, like the next night or 2 nights later, he went to this Creed party and met him. He's like, "I'm the guy with the Stallone mug."
I brought it.
So I
I have
saw him
pictures
last
with
night.
it.
I said, I'm with my friend with the Stallone mug, and he was like, "He's here." He's like, I was like, "Yeah, he's here." He's like, "Where's he at?" And I was like, "He's running around here somewhere doing something." He's like, "Oh man, tell him I said what's up." So that was cool.
He's a good dude.
But talked to send you pictures of 2 cast members from Mrs. Maisel, where I was at. So
Including Rachel Brosnahan.
Rachel Brosnahan might be the
nicest?
sweetest human on
Was that the girl in
planet.
all white?
Yes, and so I went up to her at the end of the night. And I was talking
Emmy, Golden Globe
to
winner.
everything. Critics'
The
Choice.
girl in the white.
I know
Yeah.
who she is.
But I was talking to her last
Saw her
night.
in the bathroom.
And I wanted to let her know. The thing I wanted to tell her, I said, there have been so many roles that I've seen, like, just in general, and that people, you hear about how cast, like, this person was up for, this person. I said, no one else could have done what you did with this role. I said, there are certain roles that people are just born for, and you were born for this role. And she was, thank you. And I asked her about, like, comedy, stand-up comedy, and she's like, I watched so much of it. I was like, she watched a lot of Ali Wong, she said. I said, you need to watch Carlin at Carnegie from 1982, because Maisel's pretty, she's a little
the best ever.
She hadn't watched. She did a little watched a little of Carlin. I said, you got to watch Carlin at Carnegie from 1982. And she said she was going to watch it. Whether or not she does, I have no idea. And then
You should tweet at her.
and I should.
I will.
Tweet the link
I
so
will.
she has it and
I will.
remembers.
Yeah, absolutely. 1982 is when it's from. And then the Michael, give me the last name, who plays her husband.
Oh,
Michael Shannon?
No, it's not
no,
Michael Shannon.
He's
Harry's gonna yell at me.
he's so good. Oh, what's his last name? He's the one. He's got like the mole. He's
Yeah,
brunette.
He plays Joel.
Well, yeah,
I'll
look it up.
Yeah, please.
What
And
is his
Tony
acting
Shalhoub?
name?
Yeah, Joel Tony Shalhoub. That's his name. His full name is Joel
Tony
Tony
Shalhoub was there.
I know
Michael
he was.
Zegan.
Michael Zegan,
Michael
thank you. So Michael Zegan. So at the end of the night, I went up to him as well. told him how much of a fan, and he's like, and he says to me, he's like, when are we coming on Collider? And I was like, didn't realize you know Collider.
Really?
Yeah. And he's like, I love Collider. He's like,
Good thing we both remembered his last name just now.
Well, yeah.
Half my life.
I will, but I will remember it. And I'm gonna reach out.
He's so talented.
And he's another one. Those two were
So nice.
super nice. Just a nice, kind of very gentle dude, Jersey kid. And talking to him, and he's in Jersey a lot of the time. So, but anyways, I'm done with that conversation. And Perry and I start walking
You
over.
should get him to go to New York for the live show.
I want to let him get him on here first.
Okay.
And I was walking, then we see Diego Luna. And I go, I gotta talk to Diego Luna about the Star Wars series.
Can you pause for a second and paint
Yeah.
the scene? Because I don't really understand. You're taking pictures with all these celebrities. You're trying all these people. Like, are
Show's
people,
over.
Are
Show's
you waiting
over.
in line to talk to these people?
No.
Everybody's mingling.
No.
Drinks.
So the show, thank you. I'm just imagine people know what the hell
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
have
about.
no idea what this
so
looks
to
like.
set up the night in general, you get there. Everybody's outside first. You pick up your tickets, right? And the night is just basically it's a showroom with all the critics and all the celebrities who are nominated and producers and writers and
you mingle. Yeah,
you just mingle. It's a party.
And
It's
are
not
the
security.
celebrities
There's no line.
all like kind of sucking up to you guys
Not
because
sucking up, but they
want to talk.
They
to
want
you.
to talk to everybody because that's who they're there for. It's like if you go to the Golden Globes, you want to talk to the Associated Press. If you go to the Critics' Choice, you're going to talk to the Critics' Choice. The critics. So we're there during the show. The show itself. First, there's like this little pre-thing. You get some drinks. You hang out. You mingle with some people. So Willem Dafoe kind of come in. Some other people come in. That's when he was talking to Boots.
And I did Telemundo. Remember, I did the Telemundo thing.
You did do a Telemundo interview. It was amazing.
And they
So
do the
good.
carpet, and you guys do the carpet, or just
We do.
they
Yeah,
do
we
the carpet?
walk through
We
the
were off
carpet.
the carpet, and that's when Telemundo grabbed me.
Yeah, Telemundo
They're
grabbed
like,
them.
who are you?
Yeah,
And I'm like, I'm Bob Finstock.
Yeah.
And they're like, can you give us a thing? And I'm like, yeah, sure. What do you want me to say? And they
This
gave
is
me
all
like
true.
Yeah. They gave me the line. I'm like, hey, this is Bob Finstock. Watch Telemundo on the Critics' Choice Awards or something like that. And she's like, beautiful jacket. I'm like, I know. Thanks.
That's
true.
why they got him.
All true.
All
Jacket.
true.
All
I'm going to call him out when he says lies.
Yeah.
That was all true. Like
It's all true.
the Angela Bassett thing was false. Everything else, I cannot
I
confirm
wish
or
I
deny
talked
the
Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller because that is the first time I ever heard of that. Everything else, the conversation. I mean, I was present for a lot of these conversations that were just.
So upset.
But my favorite line of the night though does not come from any of that conversations that he had with anyone except me. So we were sitting down at the table. So to still paint the picture, as the show itself is going on, it's the entire ballroom. You sit at your table. They give you the food.
Assigned like you.
Yeah,
all
the table. They tell you
people-
here's where you sit. And we're sitting down, and then afterwards, during the break, you go up and you mingle again during the break, and then they tell everybody to sit down. We're coming back, and so you mingle, you talk, and all that. So this is we sit down, we're eating, and there was really good food, and then there's these breadsticks, and I take a bite of the breadstick, and I hear, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I look over. He goes, "Use the hummus, man."
It was this little baby poo hummus thing they had, and it was fantastic because I ate like 5 breadsticks in a row because I needed to soak up like the liquor I was drinking like on a consistent basis. That guy, Poppy, kept giving me. So I mean, he was pouring the whole thing in vodka. It was great. But anyway, I'm eating. I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. But it's better with the hummus.
He yelled at me.
And then
Like,
this
it was
idiot's
only-
like crunching up and like looking around.
What are you doing?
And I'm like,
It was
"Can you-"
delicious.
I'm like,
It-
use the hummus, and
And
he
I didn't do
It was
it.
like, wowzers.
I didn't want it.
No.
But go back because I
used his
interrupted for you to
hummus.
paint the picture. You guys were walking. You were on your way to talk to somebody.
Yeah, well, so that's
big
the end
bottle.
of the night. So the show's over.
Right.
And then the show's over, whoever's sticking around, like a lot of the celebrities would stick around, they want to talk to people. A lot of people were taking off. Like, we'll get to the Julia Roberts thing in a second, but like she took off, like, I think right before the show ended or something too, right?
Oh, so you talked to her at break.
I talked to her during one of the breaks, yes. But anyway, so we are there and we are going up to see Diego Luna. And I said to myself, okay. I said to Perry, we got to go talk to Diego Luna. I want to talk to him about the Cassian Andor series. He's talking to people, he's taking pictures. And I was like, yeah, let's go. And
Yeah, he was a great guy.
I've spoken to him before during like Sundance, and he's again, good dude. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk to him and I'll remind him about the conversation we had. So we walk up, and this guy stands in front of Diego Luna. He goes, "Hey, Diego." This is his opening line. "How often are you in L.A.?"
Oh God.
And
It wasn't me.
Perry and I look at each other like, the guy's an actor. He's probably here often. He's like, "Yeah, you're in L.A. a lot." And Diego doesn't really know how to answer it. He's like, "Look, there's this game that we put on, right? This game is, I don't know what the hell game it was." He's like, "Sports games." He's like, "You should come with me. You should be my guy." come on. He's like, here's my card. Why don't you call me next time you want to come into town? And Perry and I just turned around and left. We're like, after that, I just
for everybody.
it was terrible. This guy, like, that's the guy. That's why I thought about it. That's the guy that's sitting around
So
trying.
is he a plus
Right.
one?
That was on Finstock.
I don't think so. I think he had one of the pins that I apparently had upside down on for most of the night.
I saw that guy's a moron.
Yeah, he was. I mean, this guy. I got to bring Perry
Wait,
into
all
the
the critics get a pin?
It was to let you know, to let everybody know who a member is. They give you the pin. And I put it on and I had it upside down. I didn't know until 80 of the fans started screaming at me during the picture. So
That's funny.
I told myself this year I was not doing pictures not because of Josh Macuga,
But also because of Josh.
no, it had nothing to do with it. I wasn't gonna. I did take one picture last night that I am not. And I actually took it to do an F Macuga because I saw Timothy Chalamet.
I saw they were shaking hands or something, right?
Timothy Chalamet came over to Bale. They've worked together before, right? But this is
Christian Bale.
Yeah, it's Christian Bale, future legend, current legend. They'd worked once before together, and he walks over, and there are tons of people just taking pictures of them as I go through. And I'm walking back to my spot, and I just snapped the picture, and I said, "No shame." It wasn't the Patrick Stewart one. I have omitted from far ahead because he wasn't taking pictures of anybody, but that was not a Patrick Stewart shot. Anyway, so I say I'm not taking any pictures this year. I'm just not going to do it. I'm standing there with Finstock, and right next to me walks Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Now, I don't really get starstruck anymore. It's like,
You almost Kentucky two-stepped. Like your knees got weak.
It was weird because like she first of all she always reminds me of my wife. That's the one thing. Second thing is that she like when I was
How come?
They look similar.
they have a similar
They have a similar structure in the jawbone.
So physically.
Yeah. And there's just things sometimes I'll be watching a movie and like my youngest and my oldest daughter we went up one time and there's some picture and she's like, that looks like Mama, and I was like, it does. But anyway, we were and then just growing up as a kid, first celebrity crush, all this, probably second after Alyssa Milano. But you get what I'm saying.
That's the first one.
Never interviewed her. Never like had a chance to. She's one of the biggest movie stars of all time, and a great actress, not just a movie star, like an actress, like a really great actress. And I loved her work in Homecoming this year, and I loved her work in what's the Ben movie? What's it? I forget the name.
Ben's
of it.
Back.
Ben is Back. She was. It's good, guys. But like it was. It actually.
What is that? Like a car skidding off the road?
No, it's this show that they watched. But anyway, she's the reason you see that movie. She's incredible in it. So I say to myself, that's the one I got to get. I got to get that one. So Perry and I are standing over this time. Perry and I are walking over, and Perry, because first Amy Adams, Perry had just done interviews for Vice, which by the way, you can find on Collider Quick. And I told Perry this last week, and I'll tell everybody out there if they're not watching. I told you this too.
Oh, yeah.
Perry Nemiroff is one of the best interviewers we have at Collider because she listens to people.
She's passionate.
I cannot stand when interviewers, they just have 5 questions on their card when they're at a junket or whatever it's to, and they have to get to those 5 questions. So, like, I'm going to ask you a question. This is what most interviewers do. Okay. So, Roxy, how did you enjoy working with Reilly?
Oh, it was really great. He was my support system the whole time.
Definitely. So, what do you like most about Tomatoes? It's like, what?
Yeah.
Why do you like working with him? Like, really? He's your support system? How?
Yeah.
And Perry did that with Christian Bale. Watch Perry's interview with Christian Bale on Collider Quick, and that is how you interview people. It's like he says something, she had a question, she goes away from it, she goes, wait, let's go back to that. I want to talk to you about that. And then she like has a conversation, and it's real, and he remembered, and she did the same thing with Amy Adams.
And it's a carpet?
Well, look,
no, this was
like a junket.
They get asked
So she gets-
the same question like 75,000 times.
Right.
So if you expand upon it, it works. They want to say something different.
conversation.
Yeah, you don't want to be a robot.
Okay.
I mean, you could do the Macuga Tobey Maguire thing, which is great.
God.
Here's what I will say, though.
the best.
Here's what I will
It's the
say,
best.
because keeping in mind that some people have producers who make them hit certain things.
Yep, and I've been part of that, too.
You can't always judge a host by their questions.
No, but there's a way
if
that you
they're-
can transition into those
There
questions.
definitely is, but sometimes
Definitely.
I go to something,
Yeah.
It happens all
If you
definitely.
own your- if
right,
you own
right,
yourself,
absolutely,
you have to own
absolutely.
it.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Totally.
It's
Totally.
yes. Oh, okay. You're not even listening.
Wow,
Just, okay.
wow.
Right. Absolutely, definitely.
I hear you.
definitely.
I hear you.
So many
I hear you.
creative people in this world. That's the reason.
It's just, but anyway, Perry. It goes into it because she did the same thing with Amy Adams, right? So Amy remembered her, Amy,
course.
yeah, and Amy is actually friends with a friend of mine that I knew, so it was an easy conversation. So I start having a conversation with Amy Adams, and she's again, I've talked to her before. She's a really sweetheart, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna I'll grab a picture with Amy, and then I just feel this shadow from the side. And it's Finstock, and he pops into it, and she looks over like, "Is this guy supposed to be in the picture?" Right? And then he's like, "I was at that wedding too." Right? Our friends. So we're like, "Fine, just take the picture."
And she was like, okay.
How do you ask for the picture? You just say, "Would you mind if we?"
Yeah, you mind to grab a shot? And she's like, "Cool," because that's what again. It's
what they're there
everyone's
for.
mingling, and you're having and you got to have a conversation. So Perry walks over to Julie Roberts because she had, I guess there was something that she had said about how she watched some stuff with her grandfather, and there were these things, and Julie kind of gave her a big smile, and then I kind of said just something along the lines that how long I've been watching her and a fan, and that it was a pleasure to have her here, her work for this year, and then her it was during the break, so you get so much time. But she smiled and kind of knew that we were going in for the picture, so just kind of turned, took the shot, and then said, "That's it. That's all I need." And it was good. But then I wound up talking to Coogler and all those other ones. It was a great night. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
It was great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
They
actually.
say you shouldn't meet your idols because it's a letdown. Was it or
No,
good?
she was awesome. She was
Yeah.
she like, and I will tell you, and not to put her on blast, but like I was kind of a little turned off by Angelina Jolie last year because she
Turned on or turned off? Oh,
It just because like
so skinny.
no, and that's not why. Because and you weren't even there. And
I saw her. Not there.
You saw her from
I saw her-
where your window?
I saw her at a bar a couple weeks ago.
Okay, well, that's not that story though.
Yeah.
And I just like Julia Roberts could carry herself as I'm the biggest star in the room. Do not approach me. She did that to no one. She did it to no one. She was welcoming to everyone that wanted to talk to her. Angelina Jolie to me just seemed like I'm Angelina Jolie. I don't have time for this. That's just that was last year.
Well, she's an elegant queen.
Yeah.
why you think it's changed a lot in the last year? But that was last year.
There was some security
because I
by
heard 2
Julia's
years ago she
table.
wasn't that way. I talked to a friend of mine. He's like, yeah, like I felt the same way last year, but like 2 years ago she wasn't. Maybe she was. And this is the thing. I don't ever judge a person off of one night of behavior.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
can't stand when people because I've know people who like had one bad encounter with someone and then they judge that person off the way there is. Like that's why I never judge that whole thing that happened with Christian Bale.
What happened with Christian Bale?
When he went nuts and he started screaming at that dude.
That DP.
He had and he said as much. He had a horrible day. You've never heard any other reports about how bad Christian Bale is on set. You actually hear the opposite, that he's a delight to work with. He had a horrendous day. He blew up. It got out on tape. And he
Happens to
paid the
everybody.
price for it. But like, I've interviewed him. I've heard great things about him, and he's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites. I just don't judge people on. We've all had bad days. We've all had bad days. There's things that we've been in sometimes where you just like, oh my god, if anybody would have caught that on camera.
What about two? Do you judge anybody on two?
I don't know. I judge. It's hard. It depends on how. Like Tommy Lee Jones, I'll judge because Tommy Lee Jones, every single time you just hear what of a nightmare of an interview he is, and that he just likes to mess with people. He doesn't like to give good interviews, and it's documented all over the video that he's just kind of like a curmudgeon. He's just a grouchy old man.
He's angry.
Yeah, he's just a grouchy old man, and that's not me thinking, oh, okay, well, I heard from one or two people. It's just every single person who ever interviewed him. If you ask 100 people who interviewed him, 99 people will tell you that Tommy Lee Jones was tough. So were you going to chew gum, you lunatic?
It's just so loud.
No, I'm
It's
sorry.
so loud.
Thank
Is that
you,
bad?
Reilly.
This is your first time on.
Is that bad?
Were you doing it the whole entire
It
time?
was so
No,
No,
loud.
it just started.
no.
I was like,
It literally,
It's
you
not
didn't
good.
notice
No,
all
I
of a
didn't
sudden
hear
it
it.
was like a cow.
yeah.
What were some of your favorite moments from last night, you lunatic?
Just getting to know some of those celebrities and stuff like that.
You got to know some people? Who'd you get to know?
Boots Reilly.
You
Yeah.
did talk to Boots for a while. You were talking to him for a while.
Yeah, I know a lot of stuff. He used to hang around with Tupac and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I know I'm a historian. So,
Oh.
when you say one or two things to these people to spark their memory, then they get into the conversation. It's
Right.
not like a fan. I wasn't a BASF member or whatever you are.
Not even close. But
Yeah.
that's
So I think they knew that.
What does
I
BASF
was there.
stand for?
Basic as fuck. I don't know.
British
Yeah.
Association.
What happened? Where'd the
Where'd
S
that
go? S took off?
The who?
The
yeah.
S.
Well, yeah. It's
Left.
silent.
Okay.
Anyway,
Can I?
the Spike Lee stuff was good.
Okay.
There was a giant Moet bottle, which was cool. I mean, two older people
I don't think that's
stole
how you
our
say
seat.
it.
Oh,
remember?
that did happen.
They stole our seat. And they're like, the guy's like, "This is
He,
129."
he
We're
was
like,
selling it though, man. So
He was.
So we had this table and we sit there. We were everybody's sitting around.
Are you
We
at the same
take-
table with Perry or no?
No, there was a different table. So we sit down for a second. We eat some of our food. We put the our thing over. No, we didn't eat our food yet.
No,
we didn't eat
not.
our food yet.
We did not.
We just put something over our plates to say, okay, these are our spots.
Which people were doing, like the hold seats.
Yeah, the hold spots. We come back
But
around.
you have assigned spot.
Yes,
Correct.
correct.
So we come back around to this table to where the spots we held, and they're gone. There's 2 people sitting there. I'm like, what just happened? I'm like, this is we're supposed to be here. And they're like, no, this is everybody. And we're like, no, we're 129. And then he's like, I got 129, I got 129, I got 129. And then this guy tries to sell it. He goes, this is everyone just said, this is what, he goes, literally, this is what happens. 129, yeah, I got 129, I got 129. And the guy goes, nah, this is 128, this table.
Yeah.
This is 128. It's like, didn't you hear everybody just say this is 129? He's like, this is 128. And his wife goes, no, this is 129. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, we sat in your seats.
Yeah, well,
and I was,
thanks, buddy.
and he's like, and he's panicked 'cause he ate all of our food.
Yeah, everything
Oh,
was
you
gone.
already eaten
yeah,
your food.
crushed. The quiche was gone.
Crushed it.
The
And
hummus
he's
was
like,
gone. There was no
I had no
breadsticks.
idea.
And then they look over and they go, 128's over there. We look over, there's 2 seats over with plates, and we go, we're just gonna sit in your seat. And we sat back, like, well, this table's better anyway.
Oh, it was way better.
Yeah, these people are stuffy as hell.
What?
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was awful.
That's funny.
And they sat, and then I don't think we sat again the whole day. Like
No,
I was
no.
just at the bar.
No, we just kind of went
You
to
were
the bar
in
and
the
ran
corner
around
by the
During the
piano.
awards?
What's
Yeah.
that? Yeah, the awards.
You can do whatever you want.
I don't sit down during the awards because I like to mingle.
got ants in his pants, yeah.
I sit. I
Are
go.
people talking throughout the whole thing?
No. They're watching the show, and I do too. I watch closer to the stage because I like to talk to people during the breaks.
They
Where
give
was
you
it?
it's the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
They give you
Were
you know
you
it's
not
decorated.
supposed to say? Or
I don't think
what?
we're supposed to say thanks, Miss. Appreciate it.
Oh well, whatever. Either way,
maybe
it could
they
be any
do.
hangar, whatever.
Yeah.
They basically give you. They're like, all right, 1 minute. Then they're like 30 seconds, 15 seconds. They're like,
Right.
everybody sit down, please.
The
be
cameramen
quiet.
get pissed.
Yes,
By the way,
big
there's
time.
there's Perry and I. Oh yeah. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
There was one guy, Perry and I were walking by, and you hear the cameraman go, "Get the fuck out of the way!"
Yeah.
he was pissed. He turned into Pacino.
They were angry because they probably sit there for
he's
like
done
16, 18
No,
hours.
they're done with it. I don't blame them at all. I thought about that and Cobbster, and this guy reminded me of Cobbster.
Oh,
to be
yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah, that's my boy right there.
you
That's
would-
what's up.
Absolutely. I thought of you. I was like, that's you. Like, you're just like, I get it. Talk to him afterwards. I'm shooting here. And like,
Exactly.
Camera guys are so angry.
Because I got to get my shot. I'm working. I don't need your drunk ass to be
Yeah.
in my way.
That's pretty much what was happening.
Yeah, that was exactly it.
Sounds awesome.
It
Yeah,
was
it was
fun.
great.
Can we get Perry on the mic?
There's a lot of beautiful women there. You know, I was getting hit on by like every single black girl there.
I'm
Okay?
not going to say. Here's what I'll say about that. That every single one is a flat out lie.
But a lot of women?
Yeah.
Really?
The jacket worked, man.
It really honestly did.
Like, what does getting hit on look like?
Well, white girls don't hit on me anymore.
I'm telling you, by the end of the night, this one particular really pretty girl that he was talking to for the whole night. At the end, she said something like, "I'll see you, boo." She holds his hand and just kind of like it was.
Yeah.
It was very flirtatious.
Big time.
It was very flirtatious.
What's
gave me
the
like a little
actual
tickle.
story of the
It was.
jacket? Do you even know anymore?
You're not going to get a real story. Why would you?
Where,
even-
It's like the
what do
Joker's
you mean?
origin?
What do you mean? Where did I get it? First of all, it's reversible. Okay. So if I did
It is.
bronze somebody up, I would have turned it around, and
you
it's like
could've.
shining red, like the cape on Schnepp.
It's
it-
red, shiny, reversible.
Inside.
It
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
I can't. I listen.
It's
I will
exquisite.
never say a bad word about that jacket ever again.
It's the best.
No, I have.
It even works at a holiday
Roxy,
party.
I shit you not. Every 10 minutes, the two
caterers
the
were
two
saying
guys did bow to him.
They did.
They bowed.
I
to
sent
him.
you a text message
He goes,
during the event about the
I know.
jacket.
And I didn't say anything because I wanted to save it for today. Because like
was
people,
unbelievable.
people were like, one guy called us. He says, "Hold on." He runs. He's like, "Look at this guy's jacket." And he's like, "That's a look, man." And then he lied every 10 seconds that he could about where he
yeah.
got it.
Oh,
what
Jesus.
do you wear to a funeral?
Same thing.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah. I mean, I'm just not a black tie guy. You know, I've been to black tie affairs left and right.
I thought
if you go
about
to the
it.
Oscars, you got to do something a little different. Look, Boots Riley's wearing a bathrobe. Okay, Lakin Stangard or whatever his name is. What's that guy's name?
I don't know who you're talking
the
about.
guy
Keith
from
Stanfield?
Yeah, him.
Look, Keith Stanfield. That
Yeah,
wasn't
he-
even close.
Oh,
Lakish Skarsgård? What'd you
Yeah,
say?
I'm not really good with names.
No,
okay?
you're not. Like that. Oh,
Chadwick Boseman.
so that reminds me.
Oh,
The
no.
biggest flub in
Oh,
history.
no.
No, it's all right. The biggest flub in Schmoedown history for him, and he tries to still defend it, was when we asked who directed Whiplash, and he said Damien Chazelle, which is not even close.
He was there.
Chazelle.
You're not getting the points. So what I will say is that the Mance man, Scott Mance, who
He was being Mance over there.
Scott Mance is the king of the Critics' Choice Awards, which will surprise
Everybody
no one.
loves that guy.
he's sitting at the table, First Man. He's sitting next to Damien Chazelle. And
I saw his picture with Ryan Gosling.
And then Ryan Gosling's 2 seats over from him.
Yeah,
he's sitting at that table. That's how Mance rolls, right? Mm-hmm. So I walk over and I see Mance, and Mance goes, Kristian, come here. And he introduced me to Justin Hurwitz, who's the composer. Thank you for coming in to Collider. He said, I had so much fun. It was a great interview. Thank you. And then Mance goes, and you know this guy. And he turns over and it's Damien Chazelle. And I started to talk to Damien. And I said, listen, and you guys know, you've heard me. I said, I loved First Man. I love Whiplash and I love La La Land. I said, you're 3 for 3. Mm-hmm. And I said, right now.
Yeah, for me as well.
I said, why talk about this often on this show and other shows that I think that there are directors who are, their name starts to get people in the seats, whether it's Nolan. Tarantino. Yeah. I said, you're becoming that for me. I said, you're becoming that guy. Like when I hear a Damien Chazelle movie, like I know Ryan Gosling's going to be in it, obviously. Right. I was like, but I'm going to see it. And he was like, oh man, that means so much. Thank you. He was, again, very humble dude. You can tell when some people are just like. And there weren't a lot of that last night, but you can tell when people are like, "Oh yeah, thanks, okay, cool, thank you very much." But he was engaging, good conversation, talking with Mance, and then Mance is going to try to get him in. We're going to try to get him on the show.
Yeah, the majority of people there were great.
I've heard from multiple people that he is the best.
He's cool. He was really cool.
I multiple people.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite conversations. I had a nice little conversation with him. So I think out of all the conversations that I had last night with people, I think he was probably the coolest.
That's awesome.
Oh, and Peter Farrelly. Farrelly was like, Perry introduced me to Peter Farrelly.
Really,
I
didn't see him.
Know?
You know what? Can we get Perry on the mic in there, guys? So
I couldn't find her. She's not out there.
Damn
I think
it.
she might be in a meeting.
Maybe through interviews. Yeah, that's probably definitely what it is because she did the junket for Green Book, so she probably met him through there. That's why again people remember her because she's a good interviewer, and so another really good conversation that I had with him, talking to him about the movie and when he was you could just tell like legit conversation. So it was a nice night. We had a good night.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, it was good. I know. I did not regret taking Finstock. I'm sorry, Rox.
You know, it's when you get to a party, with a guy like me.
Yeah.
Just be aware of and roll with me with the punches. Like if I'm going to sit there and tell stories. I mean, some of them are lies, some of them aren't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
he wasn't going like they weren't. They were looking at Kristian, and he'd be like, "Yeah."
Oh, I was backing him up.
Yeah.
I had to. I wasn't going to kill his stories.
No, you can't.
Some of the stuff was outrageous.
I can do that on air here, but you can't do that.
No, it would have made him look like an imbecile in the middle of it. I was like, imagine if he didn't get that in Japan.
Yeah.
He got it for $5.
I know people who do that stuff.
Then he would have looked like a moron.
And then you look like a moron if he looks like a moron.
I couldn't do it.
Everybody looks like a moron.
Honest with you, I was fascinated by the conversation, so I wanted it to go as long as possible.
And I was on one.
Yeah, so I would just throw it, and they look at me. I'm like, yeah, I can't remember what I was like. I can't remember what I said, but there was a couple times I was like, yeah, this is, who that is? I'm like, it's Bob Finstock.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah. There's people like they do that thing because they don't want to look like idiots. So they're like, oh yeah, absolutely, I know Bob Finstock.
I know him.
Yeah, but we were sitting around. It was Perry, her friend, and just won't spoil it.
She was great.
Lady Gaga wins last night for best. It was a tie between Lady.
You don't want to spoil what?
I thought that the awards were on tonight, but they were on last night. They were live actually.
Yeah, I was going to tweet it out and be like, "Hey, watch me on the Critics' Choice Awards." He's like, "It airs tomorrow."
I thought it aired tomorrow. So I didn't say idiot.
Moron it was. Or something.
Moron. Yeah. Imbecile.
Yeah, probably.
So Lady Gaga wins and splits with Glenn Close. And it was 2 ties. There were 2 ties last night.
Yeah, Amy Adams and what's her name?
Amy Adams and who did Amy Adams tie with? What was the?
It was. She brought her up too. I forget her name. It was a big star though.
Yeah, no.
For what?
Was it Gaga? No, because Gaga and Glenn Close.
For what award?
For supporting?
Yeah, it must have
been. Was it for
right?
Vice?
Yeah, what is she? Well, yeah, that's what she won for. But can you just double check, see who Amy Adams split with last night? But yeah, I can't remember who it was. But anyway, so Lady Gaga wins. And so he turns and he's like, a tie? Come on. And I was like, yeah, it's a tie. It's like 400 members, and it's very possible. He's like, you think that would happen with Schmoedown Awards? I was like, it almost did happen with Schmoedown Awards. Like, but still.
It just can't happen.
And he's like,
there's no ties
so this
anywhere.
is what he turns. He goes, she's pushing for the Oscar. And I go, they all are.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, but she's pushing for the Oscar.
She is.
She's on stage, right? I have this picture. I should actually post it.
She did an emergency shoot on Saturday.
Yeah, well, now that I'll have Dorian tweet this out because now that I can tell the story, it has more reference to it. So he's watching, and he's got this thing. He turns around, and he goes, she's pushing for it. Mm-hmm. And I go, I said, why don't you turn around? And shut the fuck up. And he starts laughing. Right? So then he has this picture of his big head watching Lady Gaga, and it was a very funny moment.
Amazing.
But yeah, it was good. So I'll send it to Dorian. We can post that out.
It was pretty amazing stuff. Somebody would have caught me in action.
Yeah,
who?
Do we know, guys? Did you guys get a chance to?
She didn't win for supporting actress. That was Regina King, but I'm just
you know what it was?
She might have
Sharp
been
Objects. It was for Sharp Objects. That's what it was, guys. It was Sharp
It was a
Objects.
miniseries thing.
Yeah,
Sharp Object.
And then thank you. And then so whoever,
Sharp Object.
It was Sharp Objects.
And who'd she tie with?
He doesn't know.
Sharp Objects.
It's Sharp.
Sharp
I don't think he tied with Sharp
Oh.
Objects. Yeah,
She's hot Sharp Objects.
I'll look it up. You keep talking.
Perfect. All right. Well, Finstock, you had a good time.
It was spectacular.
Patricia Arquette.
Patricia Arquette.
That's
That's
who-
exactly
I just
right.
watched my
Yes.
first episode
Sharp
of that
Object.
this morning.
That's exactly who it
And-
was.
It's really good so far. Why is it escape at, not escape from?
What, the show?
Yeah.
I have no idea what the show is.
They can't
Escape
use.
at Denimore?
Yeah, I don't even know what it was until.
When Ben Stiller was there.
So yeah, I watched the
Oh, is
first
that
episode
why?
this morning.
Yeah, Ben Stiller directed that.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he really?
The
Okay.
whole series,
That makes
yeah.
more
The
sense
whole
why he was
shebang.
there.
The whole shebang.
Yeah.
I'm so excited
Squeeze
after
it
watching
easy.
the first episode. It is good, and she is unbelievable,
Really good.
unrecognizable.
They had a lot of people who kept going over the speeches, and and at one point there was an announcement. Please stick to your speeches because the CW will cut us off.
And that's pretty much what was going on.
The two people that went over the most were Chuck Lorre and Bale.
and
Christian
nobody
Bale.
really cared what
No.
Chuck Lorre had to say. I mean, I was like, Chuck, get off the stage
Were
already.
they playing music?
Like nobody cared.
Yeah, but Lady Gaga had a baller comment. She's like, you can play the piano while I'm on here. It's not gonna. It's really not. It's actually.
She'll sing.
It was
She was like,
it
I'll
was
sing
along
to
the
it.
lines like piano is like that's my thing.
Yeah.
It's like you're
Yeah.
gonna play piano. Like you kind of like just helping along. I was hoping she was gonna start singing her acceptance.
Or she
ever.
should have went to the piano and played it herself.
She had a good acceptance speech, man. It was
She's
good.
great. She's pushing, man. She's pushing for that Oscar.
she
Everybody-
doesn't. She
might
should
get
not. She should not.
No, I don't think she should have either.
You think because of her performance, or just she's
was
too
good.
much
because
of a rookie?
Because of her performance.
Yeah, but is she too much of a rookie?
That's
Like
not-
rookies
I
don't
don't-
really win Oscars.
But well, I don't care about that. If you deserve it, you
Tell
deserve
Anna
it.
Paquin there.
well, that happens. I mean,
Who was
of
there
course.
last night,
She
by the
was there. I didn't know her
Did you
name.
talk
I
to her?
called her Claire Danes, I think.
There's nothing.
You
That's
called
good.
Anna Paquin Claire
To her
Danes?
face?
No, but it was like I'm
What,
I'm
out in
like,
the
look,
back,
there's
in
Claire
your head?
Danes. I think Perry's friend. I'm like, she's like, who is that? I'm like, that's Claire Danes. And Perry's like, that's Anna Paquin. I'm
It's
like,
amazing
oh,
how
man.
people do that. Some people legit thought when I posted that picture of Julia Roberts yesterday, there's legit people go, "Oh, you got to meet Sandra Bullock." I'm like,
Yeah, no.
What?
People are,
What?
you know, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of.
And some guy goes, "Are you kidding, dude?" He goes, "It's Julia Roberts." It's like, and
Some people
she's
just don't know.
51 years old,
Yeah.
Oh my God, she looked unbelievable.
and that has nothing to do with camera.
Yeah.
she is.
She's stunning.
Stunning.
Yeah.
I was
Holy
like, you know
shit,
what?
yeah.
I mean, she married a DP.
Yeah.
So that's when I go on set and you know, everybody's like, oh, don't talk to her. She's this and that. I'm like, no, I can maybe get her. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to talk to her. Like, I think I could have had Kelly Clarkson at one point. Like, she was into me. Like,
Yeah?
we went to a Warner Brothers party and
Together?
No, I went with Phil. Yeah.
Oh.
And I
What
was
are
like,
the chances she
I was
knows
like,
your name?
No chance.
Kelly Clarkson?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not
All right,
anymore.
so he's honest.
I had a great conversation with her.
Yeah?
She was really cool. Yeah, I said I, was,
I
said
believe
I
that.
said I was from Texas. Like, it was crazy.
So she wouldn't even know who you were
The crazy part
because you
about
were
it-
lying to her the whole time.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
true.
A great conversation.
But what happens is, and what gets me in trouble sometimes
Is everything.
when I do lie, and then I actually wind up dating the girl.
Right, because you can't remember. Oh, that was the end of the night. The end of the night. I took a picture. What did you tell that woman at the end of the night? I took a picture of it.
Oh, no.
You said, who did you say you did all the? You said you designed. You did all the wardrobe for somebody.
Oh yeah, who was that?
He said he did all the wardrobe for who was it? I can't remember. And she's like, really?
God.
What'd you dress him in? And he's sitting there, and the woman was like, oh my God, I got to take a picture with him. And I took a picture. It was
Yeah,
insane.
I don't. Yeah, somebody has a picture with me. There's a bunch of people with pictures.
Roxy. To make Roxy speechless is something.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking not to blow up your spot.
Oh,
but
I think I said
we've
it. I did.
talked about it 1,000 times on this
Ferragamo or
show.
something.
When we were
it was
especially early
Ferragamo.
on doing our race to the altar bit. You have like the most lovely, wonderful person in your life.
Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. I mean, she's she is who she is. But I mean, I don't do anything bad. I mean, what's wrong with talking to somebody? I mean,
You don't buy that?
You never know what
No,
happens.
I really do
I'm not
buy
an
that he
animal
doesn't
anymore.
do anything. I
Yeah.
really do.
I
He
don't
didn't
roll-
go. He came home. We took an Uber home together.
I don't
He
roll
got-
in the-
he
I don't
got
roll
in
in
the
the
car
I
and
buy
ate.
that, but
Yeah.
I don't roam the streets anymore. I used to.
she is a special kind of wonderful to let you talk the way you talk.
Why, you wouldn't let anybody talk like this?
No,
What am I?
definitely.
What am I doing wrong?
Certainly.
We'd have a conversation
It's not that
right
I wouldn't
afterwards.
let them.
I'm just trying
it's
to make
that
some
I
money.
wouldn't be with them.
There'd be a conversation
there would be
afterwards.
there
I'm
would
just trying to
be-
make some money. She knows who I am. I mean, you know.
You're trying to make some money?
Yeah, I'm trying to make money. That's what I'm saying.
Connection.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, there's no one else like him in the world. Bob Finstock on the show. Thank you so much, and make sure to go.
Thank you, man.
Please go on over.
Oh yeah, please.
You are a buffoon. Go on over and check out Little Bobby and the Juice on the. And I want you to be as honest as possible.
Yeah, please.
This is great. This is amazing. This is terrible. This is awful. This is funny. This is offensive. Whatever it is, I want to get a read from you, and don't delete comments. I want to know legit.
I don't even know how to delete comments.
Even better. Good. So I want to legit know what they say.
Easy.
Because I'm going to look during the break actually.
Well, look, I mean, when this comes out, it's going to change the world.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like charge people to like
He's pushing.
talk on the mic after this.
You're pushing for the Oscar.
Yeah, I'm gonna push for a
Well,
Webby. I'm pushing for a
all right,
Webby.
great. I'm going to push you right out the door.
Okay.
So, all right.
Well, I got to go to work anyway.
All right, get out of here. You're supposed to be working right now. Bob Finstock, guys, when we come back, a lot of news
Gucci.
going on out in the world here that we're going to give a talk to. Aquaman hits $1 billion. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Sharp project.
Hello there. No, it's not late to the party. That's actually from Obi-Wan Kenobi. You didn't know that? Well, you should, and now you do. Jedi Council. What is it? It's about Star Wars, obviously. It's Jedi Council. Every week, the latest and greatest in Star Wars movie news. Myself and Ken Knapsack, that's right, the pit boss himself. We have a guest on, and we talk about everything happening in the world of Star Wars. If it's the movie news, the TV news, canon news, comic books, games. And then we take questions from you guys on Facebook and Twitter. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm still excited talking about it. The fan base is coming together again. I believe it is. I think it is. I hope it is. And we're talking Star Wars, so we'd like you. That's right. All of you. If you're not a fan of Star Wars, come on over and join us every Thursday for Collider Jedi Council here on Collider Video. And we have an Apple Podcast feed or Podcast One, wherever you want to go if you listen to podcasts. And not only do you get Collider Jedi Council every week on Thursday, The Rule of Two with Mark Fernandez and Mark Reilly, that's on every week. I believe it drops on Wednesday. It's on one of these days. It's a good show. You should listen to it. I like it. I listen to it. I haven't listened to it once.
Hey guys, Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com. And if you're a pro wrestling fan, which I hope you are, even if it's in secret, then you should be checking out Wrestling Sheet Radio Weekly. We've got a bunch of shows in the podcast feed. We've got weekly recaps from myself and John Roca, which you guys will probably know from the Collider. That's for Raw, that's for SmackDown. We've also got the weekly roundup of wrestling news. It's a show I host called Wrestling Sheet Radio with Jamie Iovine and Elijah Bates. And we've also got a bunch of other stuff in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/wrestling sheet. So check it out, subscribe, and I hope you guys dig it.
Hey everyone, Mark Ellis here. You know, when I'm not trying to clone dinosaurs or drinking at my neighborhood watering hole, I am probably hosting Collider Movie Talk. It's a flagship show here at Collider. I like to say that because I'm the host of it. It's every day, almost. It's 4 days a week, which is still pretty good, above 50%. You can watch it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4 p.m. Los Angeles time is when we do it. It's live, so you can participate in the live chat room. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on every story we have coming because it's all the latest movie news of the day. Who did what at the box office? What horrible Redbox movies Bruce Willis signed on to? The DC, the Marvel, the Star Warses, the Lord of the Rings. Are they making new? I think it's a TV show, and we still might talk about it anyway because we love movies around here. It's myself and an expert panel of guests, including John Roca, Perry Nemiroff, Jeff Snyder, and other noted noters of note. You guys are going to love this show, and then we take your live Twitter questions at the end of the show at Collider Video. You can always use the hashtag Collider Movie Talk to get in touch with us, so subscribe right here to Collider Video. Check out Movie Talk, and check out the Collider Movie Talk podcast feed. We have a podcast feed now. You don't have to look at this handsomeness. You can just listen to it, whether you're driving to work, whether you're driving from work, or you don't have a job, but you have a basement and ears. You can listen to Collider Movie Talk's feed. You can get it at Apple Podcasts or on iTunes. You also get Mailbag. That's the show that's hosted by Perry Nemiroff, a lot more professionally than I run this pirate ship. That's our weekend show where she takes your letters. I don't know if you write them or you email them. You have to ask her. And Afterthoughts, hosted by Ryan Snelling and Jay Williams. I almost said Ryan Williams and Jay Snelling. Would anybody have known the difference? I certainly would. I would have felt bad about it because I'm a nice person, and that's why I host Collider Movie Talk. Check it out in video form or on our podcast feed.
What's up, Collider fans? If you are a fan of television and you want to watch a guy that looks like me and a guy named Thad Williams talk about TV every single Friday, subscribe to the Collider channel. Collider Podcast is where you can find the video. We have our own iTunes feed, hashtag a Collider TV Talk. You can find it on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts and you listen to them in your ear holes. That's where Collider TV Talk comes at you. We talk about TV news. We talk about shows we love, shows that we don't love, and most importantly, we don't read any books because TV has nothing to do with reading. We also have a show called Hypothetical Questions with myself and Roxy Striar and all kinds of reviews right here at the Collider Podcast channel and the Collider TV Talk feed. Subscribe, rate, like, tell your friends, tell all your friends to tell their friends, and before you know it, it's a pyramid scheme of television. I'm Josh Macuga. You can see Thad Williams and myself along with Roxy Striar and all the Collider personalities all the time right here on Collider TV Talk. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Movie Manson. Just to let you know, if you already don't, every Friday here on Collider Video, I host a weekly film review series called Movie Review Talk. The title says it all. Every week I'm joined by two guest critics of my choice, and they're never the same. We review the new films. We pick something that's streaming that you might not know about, but is really great. And we pick a Blu-ray for something that you might have missed in theaters. It is fun. It is infectious. It is the Citizen Kane of movie review shows, and it's only right here on Collider with this guy, Scott Movie Mance, Mr. Movie Release Dates himself. Check it out every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Collider Video.
They tried to get rid of me, but from ocean to ocean, they gonna have to deal with me.
What's that from? Is that from? Oh, this is Bad Boys 2 coming out? What is that?
Something about a boat?
This is from Aquaman.
Oh, I see. Okay. I just saw because
that's the
Africa. Oh, I see. I see. I immediately because of $1 billion. There you go.
I saw a fan tag James Wan and said, "Congrats on $1 billion, but you really blew it with Africa. Please don't do it in the sequel." And I'm just like, dude,
don't tweet. All right, don't tweet. Yeah, it's okay to think things and talk. Don't tweet.
Yeah.
Because. Not when it comes to stupid shit like that. Why would you tweet that at James Wan?
Yeah.
What's he gonna say? You're right, dude.
Agree. Don't tweet
I have $1 billion that says you're a moron.
Yeah.
Shut up, stupid. I can put whatever the hell I want. It's like, shut up, stupid. I didn't like the song in the movie either, but James Wan got $1 billion on a movie. Right.
There it is.
All right. Before we're gonna get into that, I just found some other really super incredible news that I loved during the break that we'll talk about. But let's get to those comments because already there's a lot of comments on the Little Bobby and the Juice comments already. So they're going to bring them up on the screen here, and we're going to see what people think. So let's go to newest first, guys. Go to newest comments first. Okay. You sort by. Go to sort by.
It's on newest.
Oh, it's on newest, right? This is the dumbest thing I've ever watched. I love it. This is probably the strangest thing I've ever seen, but I fucking love it. This is fantastic. What the fuck was that? This is awesome. I lack words to describe what I just saw. This is going to change the world. This looks like something you'll find on Adult Swim. This is awesome. I am offended, but that was awesome. This is awesome. I love it. The fuck did I just watch? Nothing offensive, and it sucks. Wow, this is interesting. I'm offended like a motherfucker, snowflake level. This is awesome. I'm offended, but I totally loved it. I'm not offended, but I also not sure if this is awesome. I'll watch the first episode, though. Home run. Not offended. This is awesome. Not sure if this is awesome, but I'm offended. I'm offended. This is awesome. This is definitely not for Collider. Fernandez, Kristian, if you're reading this, don't do it. Not offended. I would like to see more to really make a decision. Didn't find anything offensive. This is crazy, but awesome. Oh my God, keep going. This is great. I'm not sure if this is awesome, and I'm not sure if I should be offended, but I'm definitely curious. Holy fucking shit, I love it. So offended, and I feel awesome about it. I'm offended, but this is awesome. All right, so a lot of people are checking that out. A lot of comments on there. Keep going, guys. Keep going.
I feel like the majority are saying that they are offended, and it is awesome.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt that it was absolutely offensive that I would no way be able to put my name on it to say but I will watch the first episode.
He took away that you were willing to put your name on it.
No, he didn't. I talked to him last night. I said that I think this is very funny. I said you should pitch it to Fernandez and see. And you're gonna get pushback on it.
Yeah.
Because this is just the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna. That's
I know
that's
he
the big
started
risk.
describing some of the episodes to me, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm offended by your description."
Yeah, but he just has something. This is offensively funny. What is this? Not offended yet. Too awesome so far. Okay, the mini Finstock mask is perfection alone. With everything out of context, this just falls flat. This is the dumbest thing I've ever watched. I love it. Not offended. Okay, cool. We keep going back to it. All right, so keep on commenting. I know this is for everybody who's watching live right now, so keep on commenting. But if you're watching on the replay, go back over, or if you're watching on iTunes, or watching on iTunes, if you're listening on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, by the way.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that all of our shows are now on Spotify.
I saw that about TV Talk too.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of our shows are on Spotify, and that's thanks to Thad.
You got on Spotify, and you were like, "Okay, now I need to be able to."
No.
listen to them
Before
here.
that happened, we were going to do it. I
We've been
probably
trying.
would have because I'm so obsessed with Spotify now. But no, we were going to do that beforehand, and it was just taking a little long. So Thad said, "I'm doing it." And Thad put all of our shows on Spotify. Every one of our shows that we do for Collider is on Spotify, so you can find us there.
No one rocks like that.
Yeah, he's the best.
The best.
The absolute.
The way that he runs that crew, and again, as much as Cobbster and I sometimes we butt heads on things.
Fuck you say?
Yeah, exactly. You guys crushed it on Saturday.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
I know.
they did.
You
it
really
was
did.
so
No, it's not
smooth.
bad.
You had fun. You had fun at the show.
Yeah, it was fun. It
Yeah.
was really cool. Brett was there. That was great.
Yeah.
He was taking camera. It's weird seeing Brett like focused, you know, and RB3 crushing it as always, and Alex was there too.
Yeah, people don't realize that Brett. That's how I met Brett. Brett was
Yeah, I
behind the
didn't
camera.
realize
He's a technical dude.
Yeah.
Can I say yet again, so impressed by him there.
Thank you, Roxy.
Him or
Always
Brett?
impred by you.
Brett?
But I was talking about Brett.
Yeah, he's a hard
because-
worker, man.
Well, not just that. This is a small thing, but like we were walking across the street, and he wasn't standing. He visibly saw that I was chilly. I wasn't like making a big scene of it, and he took off his coat and he came and put it on me, and it was just like, you're just a good dude.
He's
You're a really, really good dude.
Yeah, he is. He's one of the sweetest people you met. And by the
And
way,
when we got there, he's like, "Don't forget your charger."
Yeah.
He just, yeah,
he takes care of you.
Yeah, it was nice.
he is also finally. If you noticed, even though he's not here today, he's starting to come into his own on
Yeah.
the show. Because
Yeah.
the last 2 episodes, he was on fire.
Yeah,
Because those-
I mean the Thanos snap
Oh,
thing
it's the
was
best.
nothing like it.
It was the best, and he's really because I talked to him and he's like, "Yeah, I just got to realize you just got to stop caring and I just got to say what's on my mind." I go, "Yes,
Yeah.
just talk."
Yeah.
And he's right. He likes being at that corner there. He said when you put him under the thing, he feels more disconnected.
It's hard, yeah.
And he's been crushing it.
I
at
try
that
to make
seat,
more
so.
eye contact with him,
Yeah.
letting him know like it's okay.
That's
say
the Brett seat.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, he's
even though
he's a
Finstock
really good
tainted it.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if he wants to sit there anymore.
I don't know. I don't know. Have we ever? I mean, they've been on camera before. I'd like to have a conversation between those two. I would like to have Brett interview Finstock for like 10 minutes, and see what the hell
Let's make
happens.
that
When am I
happen.
interviewing you? Are we still doing that?
I don't know yet. I was gonna say after there was just a couple of things going on in my life that I was gonna say maybe we don't do it, but now I think maybe we can.
I was asked a few times about that at the
show?
Schmoedown.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it afterward.
Okay.
It's fine. What was the other thing I was gonna
Glad
bring
you're so
up?
excited.
I'm excited to talk to you. It's not a matter. It's just there's a lot of other things.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later.
I
No, absolutely not. You can't. I'm done with you. There was.
Easy now.
I'm just kidding. There was news that just came out during the break. I'm
Yeah.
a big Sopranos guy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love The Sopranos, and so the prequel news. There was for the longest time there was talking about a movie, right? And this is when Gandolfini was still with us. And then obviously after he passed, I don't know. And then the news came that there was going to be a prequel series about Tony's dad during the '60s. And there's only been one.
A prequel, not series.
No, it's just a movie.
Just movie, yeah,
Prequel
you said.
movie. And initially they had said there was one bit of casting, and I want to say what the gentleman's name was again. Give me a second. His name
What,
is
something that came out?
This was already announced. Alessandro Nivola, who's going to play Dickie Moltisanti. So for Sopranos fans, will know that that's Christopher Moltisanti's dad. And they just announced 2 new cast members, and that is John Barenthal and Vera Farmiga. I mean, that's a cast.
Like,
The
massive.
Many Saints of Newark.
You would assume, is that what the name of the movie is?
That's the name of the movie.
You would assume that they're going to play Tony's parents.
Yeah.
And I would love that. Because I think that her playing Olivia Soprano and then him
Would
playing
be
John Boy would be,
amazing.
it'd be great.
I mean, they're both incredible.
Yeah.
Do we know who's directing this? Do we have any?
I want to tell you that David Chase is doing it, isn't he?
I don't know.
Alan Taylor.
Oh, Alan Taylor's directing. Yes, you're right. He
Interesting.
was from a
David Chase
script
co-wrote the script.
Yeah.
with David Chase and Lawrence Connor.
This is shaping up to be something to really look forward to.
It's an anticipated movie for me already.
Yeah.
And I did an anticipated list for Schmoes last week.
Oh, and you missed this one?
I missed not this.
Well,
this
this
is
wouldn't
about
be
next.
this
This is
year.
next year.
Yeah.
Skalisky pointed it out to me. I didn't put Rambo on my list.
You didn't.
I forgot. I
You're
forgot
so
it's coming out.
excited about Rambo.
It's in my top 2.
Yeah.
Top 2 or 3.
I do that stuff all the
I put it
time.
3. I would put it 3.
What? Oh, behind
the
episode
images
9
are-
in Infinity.
Yeah. Rambo. I mean,
I know how excited you are about Rambo.
I'm
That
so
sucks that you
excited.
missed it because fans get like crazy about that stuff.
Oh man, I missed it. Well, Skalisky called me out on it, and he's like, I'm surprised Kristian didn't put that in his list. And I said, I forgot it's coming out this year. When does it come out?
Yeah, we don't know. It's still late this year.
That's what I mean. So there was no date on it. As I'm going through a list of all the official titles, it just wasn't in that list. But yeah, if I
Just be
would've seen
honest
it-
with the people. You don't care about
I don't
Rambo.
care. I just don't care. The old
Yeah, he
bastard.
gave up.
No, I can't. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, other news, which we don't ever really cover this type of stuff. But did you see Chris Pratt got engaged?
He got engaged.
I
I
did
saw
see
that.
that.
Schwarzenegger's
Schwarzenegger,
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's baller.
To Catherine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know her or something?
I went to school with I went to USC when Patrick was there,
okay.
the son, and not know well, but Christina, the sister. So, she's supposed to be a really, really nice girl.
That's
like I
awesome.
hear from everybody, she's just an absolute doll face. I don't personally
Yeah.
know her very well, but
I had no idea that they were dating.
They
she doesn't-
revealed it a month ago.
She doesn't really post much about it. They've only
good
been
for
together,
them.
I think, for about 6 months.
A year, they said.
Really,
That's what it
a
said. That's what
year.
it said in the.
I think they were dating.
Maybe
They
publicly?
didn't make it public for
Yeah.
a while. Yeah.
And she doesn't really post much about it. I saw that he posted for her birthday.
Yeah.
And then he posted a picture of the two of them, a really like natural, beautifully.
Yeah, I saw that today, and I didn't
Beautifully taken
realize.
picture.
It. And then I didn't see anything from Arnie yet. I'm waiting for Arnie to post something now because all the rest of the family said congratulations, everything too.
Yeah.
I want to see a conversation between those two. I want to see him in a movie.
Don't you guys feel like it was just a massive thing about his breakup with?
Yeah. But look, man, when you're in that type of,
I know.
when you're moving at the type of speed that those people move at,
I know.
It's like,
And
yeah, that's why they
that
think
thing-
that 4 months for a Hollywood relationship is a big deal.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think could have been over, and we didn't know about it until we knew about it.
Right.
And again, I've heard nothing but amazing things about her and him. So
Yeah, well, good for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw that this morning. I figured why not bring that up because we don't normally talk about that type of thing. I just think that the fact that it just made me start to think of I would love. I mean, Chris Pratt. It's like a movie. Chris Pratt is in a movie, and his father-in-law is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah.
I mean, that's like a movie.
It's kind of wild.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Sopranos thing is great. I can't wait for it. But let's move on over. We got some news, a lot of stuff going on in the world of movie news. What do we got?
Well,
go with the big one?
we got it. You want to go the big one?
Yeah, might as
well,
well.
no.
The big
Can we
fish.
start? You want to start
You
with
start.
the
It's up to you. It's your
Masters of the
segment.
Universe finally got some more writers, and you have, I have,
That's the big
we
one?
have thoughts.
What are your thoughts? You said I have, we have.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta remember.
We worked on a script for Masters of the Universe at one point.
You don't know the full story on this one. When I was at Silver Pictures, I don't want to go into the whole thing again because people are bored to
Yeah,
death
I've
with it.
heard bits
People
and
have
pieces
linked
of
in
this.
and
It
talked.
just-
I've heard bits and pieces of this.
We had basically had them on board to do Warner Brothers.
You and Reilly.
Riley, the short story of it is that Riley and I came up with an idea for the movie. Riley wrote a big treatment on it. I took that treatment to somebody over at Legendary. The guy is no longer there anymore. This scumbag took it and said that he didn't want it. He said, "Oh, we can't do this. We're doing this too close to Conan." So he took it to to a writer that he knew, and Justin Marks, who's a great dude, awesome guy, had no idea about us at all. Justin Marks then wrote a new treatment that had nothing to do with Riley's. It was just kind of going off the same idea of science meets magic, right? And then got that picked up, brought it over, and I came in, was going to come on as a CE for a producer on it, and all this stuff through Joel Silver's company. It just fell through. But it was always Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
The problem with most people, because the most out of all of the stuff inside of that IP of Masters of the Universe, what everyone remembers the most is the 80s cartoon.
Yeah.
And the 80s,
Right, I remember you telling me about this.
yeah, the 80s cartoon and I love the '80s cartoon, but it's goofy and it's cheesy and it's got
and you didn't want to do that at all. You wanted to make it.
Well, there are some really serious things inside of that, but for the most part, it's a goofy cartoon. That's what everybody thinks. So they go, he's got a cringer, and everybody thinks of Orko, and they go, oh well, of course that's going to be goofy, and you're going to get a maybe go the Thor Ragnarok way, or really even sillier and go Men in Black. For those movies, works very well, but for He-Man. If you go back to where He-Man originated from, it was kind of a spin-off of the Conan the Barbarian comics, and the original Masters of the Universe comic books are dark, and the magic inside of it is how the history behind this sword. And they did more of that in the 2002 series that came out on the Cartoon Network that not a lot of people saw, and the mythos went a lot deeper and thousands of years back on what that sword meant and the power behind it. And it really had a Star Wars feel to it. And then the inside, but again, imagine like all the beautiful landscapes and scenery inside of the Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, and then how they shot that New Zealand. Now think about that shot. But then like a spacecraft comes through, right? And that's Masters of the Universe, right? And they got these writers that are gonna go. What have they worked on?
They've done Iron Man, Punisher, Warzone, Transformers: The Last Night, and the recent Men in Black International, or the upcoming, I should say.
Okay, so they've worked on some okay stuff, some farts, but some okay stuff. I'm just worried that because. With Ragnarok, Guardians, you had
Aquaman, I would say.
Aquaman, all three, and the thing is, all three of those movies, huge successes. Mm-hmm. So you can see where a studio goes, well, yeah, it's working for those other movies. Let's do it. Let's do it for this big property. They're worried more about what has worked for other things than what could work.
For them.
Looking at this mythology, you can see it. You can see that it's a Lord of the Rings Star Wars, but to everything Kristian said, I mean, there was humor in ours.
So you think they're not going?
It was very serious and epic.
Not the right direction they're going in. You think then?
I don't even know. Like David Goyer did a recent draft. He's an executive producer. He was going to direct it at one point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? This thing keeps just kind of falling apart.
I'm glad every time it dies though, because until I hear somebody if I hear Peter Jackson gets a hold of it, and I don't care. You can say what you want about
Mortal
Engines. Yeah, I feel like he would be able to do it. I think that there's people that'd be able to like Matthew Vaughn. I'd be okay with now, and he does a lot with humor because Empire Strikes Back has humor in it, and it's a dark movie. All those movies. Lord of the Rings has humor in it. They're like Gimli.
It's where you place it. It's organic.
You can have humor in it, but it's gotta feel like there's legit comedy inside of it. Like that's just from real moments, not just we're gonna try to be really funny here because that's what we want to do. We want to be Guardians.
It's all about the setup. We set the hell up of this. It's still to this day is one of my favorite openings in a film.
I know. Yeah. I would love for them to actually do it right. I think you can get a whole series of movies, and you could even get that old school theme that they had, and you could make a Jablonski score out of it.
Oh yeah,
so much.
You still have your treatment?
Yeah,
it's up on your website, right? It's on Schmoedown.com.
Yeah, we posted it there.
Yeah, I loved it.
You can just type in Schmoedown and Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's a big story. The other story, the huge story, we mentioned Aquaman, $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Dude, $1 billion.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not too surprised. Based on some of the reactions that were coming out.
Oh, after its first weekend,
first week,
this thing had this. But when it was coming out, I gave Roka crap about and it didn't happen. But I gave Roka crap about $200 million, because I said to him, if this thing hits $200 million opening weekend, it's going to hit $1 billion in general, and it's not hitting $1 billion. Wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. It might end up passing Black Panther.
Bring up the box office, boys. I want to see.
Let's see.
I want to see what we're looking at.
It might.
It's moving fast.
It's not that it will, but
it's really fast moving.
But we also shouldn't bury the lead here. It got knocked off its perch for the first time by the upgrade.
Yeah.
The upside.
Upside.
The upside.
We upgrade.
The upside was.
Upgrade's that other movie that I haven't seen.
Upgrade was good too, but Upside, as I told you guys, was so good.
That's what you said.
I know there's all different controversy around it, but it's the actual movie is really good. So good.
Kevin Hart, by the way,
is unbelievable.
That's what I heard. But Kevin Hart is the king of January. He's got a lot of movies in January. He's always comes out and just.
You've never seen a performance like this from him.
Well, look worldwide. Yeah. So how far away is Aquaman? And then go back to Black Panther.
I think it's at 1.3.
1.3.
Yeah.
So it needs to make another 3.
Well,
I'm not saying it will, but I'm saying it could.
It could. So go back to this weekend's box office, please.
Glass obviously will give it its run for its
I
money.
think Glass is going to take
Glass
over
will
this
take
weekend.
it.
We can talk about Glass now, by the way. So the upside was number 1 at 20 mil. That's all that movie needs to make for the opening weekend. It's going to be a success. How much could that movie possibly have cost to make?
37.
It's really 37?
37.5 is what that's saying.
Yeah, that movie's going to make its money back and then some. Dog's Way Home, Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse has made 147 million. That's great. Good, I'm glad. And Aquaman, domestic, 287.
It's a beast.
It's a beast.
It's a beast. People like to see new technology.
Holy crap, man.
People love superhero movies. People like new technology. People like that cast. It's got a lot of winning things about it.
It's a big win for DC.
And I really like it.
Oh, yeah, it's a big win. So
It's their biggest for the DCEU.
absolutely. He's the king. So and good for them. So there you go. It is the number 1 movie, built over $1 billion thus far. Oh, you know what reminds me? I don't know why this thought came in my head. I want to make sure that I didn't give a proper. I mean, we said a couple of words too, but I want a couple more words about our buddies over at the old show that was known of Afterthoughts.
Yeah,
Snelling and Jay Williams. I think because we were just in the middle of kind of doing some stuff and it was just kind of brought up. They should get a lot of credit for what they did every week on our show. I didn't speak to them. I didn't tell them I was going to talk about it today too. I know they're
They
really,
sent out a couple of lovely tweets.
I did. I saw them.
tweeted at them too.
Yeah, and I was going to tweet back and do this kind of whole long thing, and I was like, you know what? Instead of doing that, I'm just going to say things about them because as much as we had our fun back and forth, a lot of it was kind of bit for the show, and a lot of it was too it's hard when somebody's in Kentucky and somebody's in Los Angeles, but the fact that they went out of their way every week to watch all 3 episodes of this show.
You think they're still doing it?
I think they still watch the show. Yeah, absolutely. Listen to the show. I mean, the reason they did is because they were fans of the show. And I know sometimes you can watch and listen to a show and then be part of it and say, I don't want. I mean, I did that for wrestling for a long time. I was a huge wrestling fan, became a writer for it, and then didn't watch it for 15 years, so or whatever it was, 14 years. And maybe they do that. I don't know. Maybe they're done with it. But they're working on their stuff. They're working on. They have their own brand and Sight and Sound that they're working on, and I can relate to that. I mean, I get it. Like they work.
I like those kids.
Yeah, I like them too. They work really hard, and so they deserve you guys respect and love and tweet on at them, check them out and everything they're doing because we're very grateful for the time that they put in. And Snelling was doing this show, not even this, a version of the show when we were doing the Schmoedown live show. He started this out, and him and Paul Wolf and.
I miss the show. I miss listening on my way to work.
Yeah,
I miss that.
And I get it. It's just they're working on other things.
I get it too.
Yeah. So I wanted to thank those dudes for everything they did, and I wanted to make sure that they didn't seem it was just kind of like, oh, thanks for everything you did. Or let's move on to the next story. They're part of the family, and we appreciate everything that they've did for the show.
I know the bodies aren't cold yet, but are you thinking about having somebody else do a show like that?
Somebody asked me. I've gotten a couple tweets, and people have been asking about it. Respect-wise, probably not right now. I want to let
not the second.
Not right now, yeah. and plus the fact it's like it's a lot of work that goes into even like managing that too.
Crazy,
it's like because you gotta. I had to trust Snelling and I had to trust Jay. I don't know. I don't want to. I had to build a relationship with those guys. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
So probably not for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, if at all. If we ain't doing anything else too, I always wanted to do. There was something I always wanted to do on this show. Like I would
go 5 days a week. Yeah, me too.
I would love to do like an after show with like Brett and Alex. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like then
That'd
they could kind of recap everything that's going on for in the week that was in Collider. I think it's more kind of. I've always wanted it to be designed around like
That'd be cool.
What Stern did for the after show. And it's like it's part of their crew doing it. So maybe the next after show is just some of our people doing it. It would be funny if the Wangers just break it down and kick. Because they'd kick everyone's ass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, going back to the $1 billion for Aquaman, huge story. Let's cut it out, you bastards. You got the prequel with the Sopranos, and then I guess Bad Boys start filming today. Will Smith tweeted something out and said
Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah.
Happiest day of Josh Macuga's life.
Yeah, because they tweeted out. I guess they start filming. They watched Bad Boys 1 and 2 together, and I was happy to see that. I loved that. They went back, they watched it together. They kind of maybe forgot about some stuff the way they used to. It's been a long time. So going back on that dynamic and sitting down, I'm not really looking forward to the third one. I don't care as much as Macuga, but it makes me more excited that they care.
If you get to go to a screening of Bad Boys, you're taking him, right?
If I didn't take him, he would never talk to me ever again.
This is the one you cannot.
I can't mess with it. This is the one. Yeah. Creed's one thing, but if I get a screening of Bad Boys 2, and I don't take Macuga, he was mad. He was mad for the Creed thing, like legit mad.
Yeah, I know.
He wouldn't talk to me for a month.
No.
So I'm probably gonna have to do that. So he better keep his mouth shut about that picture with Timothy Chalamet tomorrow. I'll tell you that. But it's I like that picture. That was a good picture.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that picture. What do you think? Really? You got thoughts with it?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? What?
Yeah.
I'm on the.
You'd change your tune when you saw how many people they were like taking photo ops.
Right. It's not that I personally wouldn't do it. That's what it is. I don't have a problem with it, but you're taking pictures with Julia Roberts and with the cast of Maisel, and that I have no issues with. Like, let's pose for a picture.
Yeah.
But as somebody who has almost 0.0001% of the fraction of fame that these people have, sometimes people will take pictures of me and post them, and I think it's very inappropriate.
Oh well, you're also talking about if you're just sitting around. This is like literally there for I'm not painting the picture. Also, they're a legit people. Cameron snapping this
but that's
particular
not your
photo
job. And
it was for that particular day.
And they've got
not
better
just me.
cameras, and I'm super vain about shit. Maybe.
Oh, you want to make sure it looks good.
Yeah. I don't want somebody.
Right.
And I looked at the picture, and they looked fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, well, I liked it, so F off.
Yeah.
What's
asked.
next? Yeah, I did.
I want to talk about it.
I just have no problem with it. And I, to be honest with you, I took that picture to say F you, Macuga.
Of course.
I took that because I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm there when we're walking around, and that was to me that was a big moment for those to see that, to witness that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to because and it was just me weirdly just standing there. There was like a line of photographers. I'm like,
you were with her.
I was like, I'm taking that shot. I was like, that to me is a
different
moment,
opinion.
of course, especially from him. And I thought about it, and I posted it because of that. I knew there were going to be pictures like, Macuga's not going to approve of this one. No. Oh, he's not going to like this one.
I don't even have a problem with you taking the picture.
Posting, it's more you had a problem.
Well, because if you want that picture, like, wow, I witnessed this, that's pretty cool.
You're right. You're 100% right. If it wasn't for Macuga, I probably wouldn't have posted it. But you're 100% right. I think that for that, that moment really was for me. But then I said, you know what?
Because that is an unbelievable moment.
Yes,
and in like 20 years, you're going to be so stoked that you have that.
We are on the same page. I agree with you. It's just I just had to do that because
I get that. I like to give a little F you to Macuga sometimes
I wanted to do that.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. So what else? What else you got?
Aaron Sorkin and Scott Rudin have been talking.
I heard
about you've heard them.
Yeah.
Social Network sequel.
Really? Oh, I guess you could do this. A lot of material.
You gotta do it.
I was going to say so much material now with Facebook.
Now, listen, he says.
Is it with the trial or?
No, because of all the Russian hackings and the Facebook being alleged to have had all this information, and that they've been sharing the data of all of us to target these election things. And Zuckerberg is on the stand and the Senate Intel Committee. There is so much you can do. And Rudin writes him and says, don't you think? And Sorkin's like, yeah, I do.
I agree.
I love that movie, and I cannot wait to see the sequel.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
This is one of those sequels. It's not about
they're just playing it.
And I'm sure it's always about money in Hollywood. But this is one of those where the story needs to be told.
I think Jesse Eisenberg needs it too. He's kind of been on a down slide.
Hey guys.
Yes.
We got some breaking news.
What do you got?
What?
All right. So the Uncharted movie.
Oh yeah.
We got a director. Well, Tom Holland is still going to play, I guess, as young Nathan Drake, which is still really silly.
So don't tell me the director is yet. Is it someone? Is it someone really big?
No.
All right. Okay. Is it someone that we're gonna like?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's someone we'll know?
You'll know of the movie. You might not know of his name.
But you're gonna know. But once you tell us the movie that he directed in the past, or she directed in the past, we will be happy. You say.
Yes.
Okay. So, who is this director?
10 Cloverfield Lane's Dan Trachtenberg.
Oh.
Yes, Queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
dig it.
That's good.
Queen.
Yeah, I didn't love that movie, but I like
You
the
didn't
direct.
like it?
I like the directing though.
Is he related to what's her name, Michelle Trachtenberg, or
I don't know.
Well, that's
Alex, look
cool.
it up.
So he's locked in for that. Is he? I wonder if he's a fan of the
or
game.
Danielle Trachtenberg?
That's gotta
Hopefully. I know Sean Levy was supposed to be part of it, but then he left.
Yeah, he
and,
dropped out.
I think it says him, Seth Gordon, David O. Russell are
Does it-
still attached to the project too.
Does it matter to you, Kristian, a lot? Somebody being a fan?
Yes, it does. It matters a lot.
Me
And
too.
I believe he did
Nice, me too.
a video game short of Portal.
Okay,
Portal
that's
game.
right.
He did
Good.
a short for
That's
that. So
good.
he's
I
done
mean,
video game stuff before.
So, well, here's an example for that. Like, Cody just saying that this guy's a gamer, right? And if he comes in and maybe he just locks himself in a room now, he's not a big fan of it, but he locks himself in a room, becomes a fan, and says, okay, because that happens. That happens too. I just think that it's sitting when I worked at Silver Pictures, it was the people that came in that really knew the material and were fans of it, that gave you the passion it takes and knew that you can go in this. And he and I talking about He-Man and going through, like, if we were really in it, like, that's who you want. You want passionate people about it. Now, you don't want fanboys necessarily, because then it could get too inside baseball, but sometimes too inside baseball is not too bad. It just depends. It just depends on the takes. But I think just you get into a problem sometimes when you hire someone who's just a really good director that is just a good director and, I can direct anything. Don't just get a name to get a name. Get someone who really cares about the project.
I remember I was so excited early on when when DC was talking about the Batman, with Affleck directing it and Jeff Johns helping him, because it was like, we've got somebody who's great at filmmaking and somebody who knows the material, and that combination is so perfect. If you can get that in one person.
That's what you hope for, right? So,
yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting though. It's I like that call better than if I was here. Like, for example, like, nothing against the guy. I think he's a nice guy. But when they said McG was going to direct Masters of the Universe, I almost said I refused to see the movie.
Yeah.
What a disaster that movie would have been. Thank God.
Has there ever been a movie you actually refused to see?
No, I usually go and see everything, but I would be very upset going into that movie if McG had directed that. Like, I'm going to be, I mean, I'll be it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to please me for Masters of the Universe unless I see that tone. It's going to be very hard. I just know what that movie could be, and unfortunately, nobody else does.
No,
except Reilly.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next? Anything else going on?
Yeah. No, this is a good one.
Yeah,
you
good
like this,
stories
Craig? Yeah, lots of good stories broke over the Friday and over the weekend. Craig Brewer.
Oh, our buddy.
Our buddy.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, directing Coming to America 2.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's happening.
Came on this show?
Schmoedown.
Years ago.
Yeah. He's been on twice. He's Craig Brewer, director of Hustle and Flow. Who do we got? Oh, there he is.
Bad boy himself.
Yeah, have you heard any of the show?
No, I haven't. I just got off Sports Time.
Okay, haven't heard any of the show yet.
No.
Well, we had Finstock on for a full hour.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Lord.
What was that all about?
Well, he came with me to the Critics' Choice Awards last night.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
Do you know
I
that
saw that.
you were one of my choices to go with me last
Oh,
night?
yeah?
But we weren't invited in the end.
No,
That's what
I
happens.
took Finstock because you can hear back
He
the
did
show.
wear that, like, Chinese
He did, dude. He
jacket.
got complimented on that thing every 5 to 10 minutes, and the stories he told about where he got it, legendary. I mean, it's great.
By who? Who was saying
Oh,
it?
I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
Go back. We
have to
talked. We went in depth about it.
I was very proud of your Instagram.
Oh, you
game,
liked
though.
the pictures.
Well, you had two selfies. One with Julia Roberts, which I was very jealous of.
Okay.
Dude, I've never made fun of the selfies. I've just made fun of the creepy long distance pictures, which you did put up one. The Timothy Chalamet blurry one to.
That wasn't blurry.
Christian, dude, that's pretty
Is
blurry.
it blurry?
Slightly blurry.
Yeah, it's pretty blurry.
It's
and
not
it's clear,
blurry.
but clearly you're just like over somebody's shoulder, like I'm gonna get it.
I wasn't.
And here's the funny part was Amanda's like, oh, the Critics' Choice Awards, and I was like, yeah, Christian and Perry.
was blurry.
Christian
Damn
and
it.
Perry are there, and Amanda goes, is Christian taking really creepy pictures of celebrities?
Nice. That's only because you planted it in her head.
I didn't.
Bullshit.
I did not.
I don't believe it. With
Well,
that hair,
you can bring her up to her.
horseshit.
Speaking of being at cool events, you were at a bitchin' event
What'd you
this
do?
week.
Yeah, Saturday was crazy.
Schmoedown Awards.
First of all, Schmoedown Awards was awesome.
That was
was fun. I don't know when that video
January
goes.
25th.
Okay.
I told everybody to watch it.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Toasted.
Yeah, just real drinky.
Hold that thought for a second.
Yeah.
Because I do want to hear your thoughts on it. I did say, and I told her right before you walked in, so I asked you to watch. I put that Timothy Chalamet up for you.
Just for me.
Yeah.
I knew you did.
It was an F you.
It was real good. As soon as I saw it, it was just
because Roxy goes take it because I was walking by. And you see Chalamet, who's becoming a legend.
His suit was very Josh Macuga approved.
And I'm like, and there were a row of people, cameras, just taking pictures. I was like, I'm gonna snap it. And then Roxy's like, you should have kept that for yourself. And I was like, I would have, but I really wanted to do this. I really wanted to do.
Oh yeah, I knew what it was for. I saw it a mile away. It's perfect.
Can't be mad at that.
No, I couldn't. So I had to because you've noticed that's the only one like that.
I did. That's why I said your Instagram game jumped up. The Julia Roberts selfie is a once in a lifetime. I mean,
ever.
It's
And then Amy Adams.
And it's just insane
But you know Amy.
how good Julia Roberts looks. Like I was staring at that
She looks
picture, like
amazing.
she looks so young.
Her at the Golden Globes was just stunning,
dude. You have
Stunning.
no idea.
Yeah.
You have no
And
idea.
not
She's
young like all the surgery young.
no,
Young like
she's
beautiful.
naturally
Yeah.
beautiful.
Her lips, her eyes. Oh,
She
I
doesn't she has
love her.
anything done to her. She
Yeah.
might have, but she
I think
didn't.
she has, but it doesn't look that way,
Can't
so
tell.
I don't care.
You
yeah.
can't tell. Anyway, so go back. Sorry, so you had fun on Saturday.
Yeah, Schmoedown Awards was super fun. All the fans that came out, just really cool people, and it was like a really, really fun event. I mean, I knew it would be. The Schmoedown Awards are always fun. All we do.
It was a step up.
It was a step up. Yeah. Like and the Comedy Store was so cool. The staff was awesome. Everybody was having a good time.
It was cool to be in there. It just felt like an evolution of the whole thing. Plus, it felt right to be in the Comedy Store.
And having Ellis do it all too. It
was great.
Yeah.
It
was
phenomenal.
And we got pretty toasty, and I came in at about 5:30, and I walked in, and Amanda was like, I knew you were going to be drunk. We have to go to a party in 2 hours. We're like, we're fine. Let me just say
you were
quick
hammered.
nap. Oh, yeah,
So
we got it pretty
you
good.
went to Nina Cella,
Yeah, I went to Nina Cella.
which is Nina Dobrev's birthday.
Yeah, Nina Dobrev's birthday party.
Holy
it's
crap.
in
last
Culver
night. I think she
City.
was there last night.
I don't know if she was there or not. I mean, we partied real hard pretty much all night.
I'm confused. Were there tigers and like safari things there, or was she somewhere else like an hour before?
Oh, no. They were in South Africa for her birthday.
Okay,
They went
because she
to,
posted like an
on a
hour
safari.
before with the tigers.
I think she had just gotten home like 2 days before from the
Okay.
trip from South Africa. We were going to go to that, but it was crazy expensive.
Yeah.
But so we go to this birthday party, and I mean, the usual cast of Hollywood kind of situation. And then Vin Diesel showed up. And I
Get
was
outta
like,
here.
"Oh,
Nice.
this
Did you take a
is
picture of Vin Diesel?
No. I mean, he was just
How
hanging
do they
around.
know each other?
They were on Xander Cage, Return of Xander Cage. She was in that movie, Triple X.
All right.
Yeah. And so
He's the nicest.
he's
dude.
awesome. Like, really cool guy. Was hanging out.
Breakdancing?
He did not breakdance. But then, like, Zed played a set.
No way.
Which I didn't. I mean, I don't know who Zed is, but then he
That's
played a song, and
crazy.
Amanda was like, "This is a Zed song," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I mean, he just sat there and played he just hit play on his iTunes, and it was just like
That's
I
great.
mean, he didn't really do much. And then I'm outside in like the smoking lounge, and I sit next to this dude, wasn't even paying attention. He's smoking a cigarette, like, "Yo, man, can I bum a cigarette?" And it was Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and he was an awesome dude. I mean, these Hollywood birthday parties are so ridiculously extravagant.
So is
Like
it
Shake
at
Shack
her
was
place,
there.
or-
No, it was at an event space in Culver
Okay.
City.
Damn, it looked dope.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a cool party. The most flattering like photo booth. All the girls are obsessed with it. They're like, we gotta take this photo booth.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like
Is it
I'm
the black
getting,
and white one that
Yeah.
all the Kardashians do?
yeah. And then I get like this whisper in me, and they're like, "Yo, after parties at Vin Diesel's house." I was like, "Oh, we're going to that one."
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Walked in. So there was like I hopped in an Uber with a bunch of people. It was like an SUV Uber, and there was no room. And they were like, the guy's like, "You got to get another one." And I just hid in the trunk in the back, and they covered me with a.
I
with
saw
a
on
blanket.
Instagram
Who were you with?
story
Like,
of
so
that.
who's in the car with you at that point?
It was like it was like Nina and a couple of her friends. The guy that plays Superman on CW.
Oh, okay.
And then there was like 9 or 10 people in
How
there.
many?
Nine.
Okay.
It might have been.
Midman.
9?
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
nine. It was nine?
Yeah. Well, there could have been.
8th.
It was the
Yeah,
eighth
it was
one?
the 8th. I was the 9th.
You were the
person.
9th. Oh,
Yeah,
it was the
yeah.
8th. But it would have been the 8th if you didn't go.
8th.
It was- you were the 8th, but then
Eighth.
9th. I
Yeah,
get it.
got it.
All right.
And you walked.
makes sense.
You walked in. The typical way up in the hills, gated
Right.
thing kind of situation. A house that looks like nobody lives in it. You know what I mean? Everything is
A
like
statue of the
pristinely
Rock
white.
blown up?
No,
Oh.
it was a statue of Iron Giant.
That's amazing. There's a statue of Iron Giant.
Yeah,
of course
about like 4 feet taller than the Zac Efron there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it was like 10, 12 foot high
awesome.
Iron Giant.
Yeah.
I walked in and man was like, why does he have a robot? I was like, babe, that's Iron Giant.
Iron
And he was
Giant
the
is
voice
the
of Iron
best.
Giant.
That's very cool.
It was a
Are
cool
you nervous in the
after
house?
party.
Like, don't touch anything, don't break anything, don't.
No,
F
I got
this up?
lost looking for the bathroom, and I turned the corner. He's like, "What are you doing back here?" I was like, "Dude, I can't find the
Who said
bathroom."
that?
Vin Diesel. He's like, "What are you doing back here?" I was like, "Dude, I don't know where your bathroom is." He's like, "It is confusing. All the doors look the same." And he like walked me to the bathroom.
That's
Wow.
It was pretty classic. Yeah.
That's
Damn.
great. That's a good. See, what a weekend.
I know.
In general.
I just took down my Christmas tree after the Schmoedown Awards. Fuck.
That was good. Listen,
It was a rowdy evening.
yeah, man. Schmoedown Awards, Vin Diesel's house
Right into it.
parties, the
So
Critics'
crazy.
Choice Awards.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Roxy,
Good stuff.
can you come
Can I come?
next time? Next time.
come?
That the afterwards, we were all hanging out like at where was that first place that we went to?
Yeah, it was like Sunset Tower or
Sunset
something.
Tower.
Sunset
Yeah.
Tower.
Why don't
That
we
was
eat
fun.
there?
It was
It was
very.
a saddle ranch.
That place was gorgeous. It did not feel like we were in LA. When you went outside, it was so beautiful, and
Yeah.
I think we're not wanted there.
We were not wanted.
Yeah, we were a little too rowdy for that place, I think.
Was it a bar? Was there a bar there?
Yeah, it was a bar.
Yes.
I've never
And there
been
was
up
like
there
a
before.
kind of a restaurant, you know.
Well, there was a
overlooking-
restaurant part
Everybody
there.
was like very well behaved and sweet, and we were like, it was day. We
we were all
we
a bunch of hammered,
yeah.
Schmoedown people.
I think we were better fit for Saddle Ranch at that point.
That,
Yeah, you made a
Better
good
suited.
point.
that tells a story where, so you know, I bring a flask wherever I go,
Yeah.
and Ellis
I
is up
had
there.
some of that with you and Dewberry in the
back.
the green room.
And Ellis is doing the thing on stage about 2 drink minimum. Make sure you take care of your staff. And that he looked over at me and I was just like,
Right.
I'll just wait for the waiter to get here, put it in the jacket. But it was
good.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
a good time.
It
I
was a good
felt
night.
so guilty. Ellis
For?
caught me doing something stupid
What'd you do?
right before he went on to
I
do
know what
his
it is.
set.
I
You
was
do?
there. I saw it.
What?
I saw it. I know. You want me to tell you? You want to tell?
I felt so bad
I-
because
look,
he
because
had
let
just
me- let
given
me-
this whole speech.
Let me before you even get into this, because Ellis is one of the, everyone will admit, the nicest guy in the world.
Yes.
There are certain things though
Yes.
that Ellis is very strict on.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And you don't break those rules because Ellis, he does the upper lip mad thing,
it
and
gets
he gets like, and the Comedy Store,
It's his
because
place.
it's our home.
so
right?
I
It was- it
thought
was-
I was being respectful of that.
But you were, and the thing was, and so I'm in the back with Ellis, and I see a door open, and all I see
Like
is
an exit door.
Yeah, an exit door, and Ellis goes, "Who's that? What's that? What's that?" And he just
and he's literally
100
about to
miles an
go
hour.
on stage.
100 miles an hour, just leaves.
Okay.
And so what happened from that point?
So who's that? It was me. So I was sitting down at the table, and all of a sudden, I realized, you guys know I never get high before I go on camera, and I knew that I had to do the thing, and then I was like, F it, I have to be on there for 2 minutes. I'm not going to be on for 2 more hours.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
feeling super anxious. I had been there for an hour and a half at this point.
You're anxious to go on stage?
No, I'm just anxious with like, there's so many people.
Right.
My drinks haven't come yet. I'm sitting there. It's like one of the first times I'm going to something by myself and not with Ben. So like, everybody's in their couples. Nobody's talking to me. I'm just by myself. Literally, no one's talking to
Really?
me.
Out of
Everybody-
us?
Yeah, like
Why? That's weird.
well. Reilly was with Julie. They talked to me for a second, but then they sat. But then they
She's
sat somewhere
come hang out
else.
with
You were
us.
doing this weird thing by yourself, and there was nobody to the left and right of you. You wanted to be alone. Macuga was down on the other side of things. So I'm literally sitting by myself. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, just all of a sudden in my head, like,
Yeah.
wow, I need. And I was like, I gotta get high. So I literally. I said nothing to anybody. I just picked up my pen and I was like, I'm just gonna go by myself and smoke. So because Ellis had just given this whole speech.
Don't go outside. Don't go out the side door.
No, he didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
He had said, be respectful of my house. I would have just smoked it right there. That's what I usually do.
Yeah.
But he just given this whole thing. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get a crew. I'm just by my because everybody's there that
Right,
smokes. I was
right.
like, I could have asked a million people, but I was like, I'm just gonna quietly just go step out, take one puff. I'll feel a lot better. I'll come back inside. And the second I do that,
100 miles an hour.
I literally I open the door, I take one puff. What are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, oh,
Yeah. And you know,
man.
and when Ellis is like that, it's like your
You're
dad.
scared.
I
Gets mad.
literally was like, and he had
Don't
just
tell dad. Don't tell dad.
Yeah. He thought you were probably letting people in.
No, of course
Yeah.
not. And the day before, he had gotten upset with me about something else.
What?
And,
Can't say.
I can't say.
Okay.
But he was dead right. He's dead right both times.
Okay.
But back to back,
I wanna know what it
Ellis,
is.
back to back,
Me
Ellis
too.
giving me a speech. I was like, oh
Yeah.
no,
You're in a shit
I
list.
effed
You're in the
up.
Ellis shit
And
list.
he's
I
one
said-
of those that's like, I'm so disappointed in you.
Yeah, and so
he does the lip.
He was like, it's fine, just don't do that again. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
I really won't. He was like,
Because when you don't see Ellis serious
No.
hardly ever, so when he is, it's just like okay.
and he was about to do his set.
Listen, man, I'm telling you, I
Oh,
was
I felt
standing with
bad.
him. I was standing with him, and like we were talking, and he was just, and he's about to go up, and then he looks over and he sees the light from the door from the street, and he goes, "Who's that? What's that? Who's that? What's that?" And he runs, and I was like, "Oh man, he's pissed." And I saw that it was Roxy.
I think he thought like a fan was trying to sneak in or something.
No,
probably.
no, he just thought
I
he
literally-
wanted him. He made sure to make it an announcement to me, and so no one goes through that side
He
door.
did not say that out loud.
I know, but he wanted to make sure that because the staff was taking care of the front room and the back, because the Comedy Store main room, by the way, is not an easy place to get.
No.
That was like that's a big deal. The fact that we
I
got the
know.
main room, that's a big deal. You didn't do anything. You opened the door. It's a big
I
deal.
was literally doing what I thought was
Yeah,
the most
I know.
respectful
I know.
version of it, and he totally was like, "It's fine, Rox. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
just you. You weren't doing anything that I thought you were doing something else."
Right.
But I felt so bad because he's about to go on. The last thing you want to do is mess with somebody's mojo, and I was like, "Wow, I blew
Yeah.
this."
What were you gonna say?
Well, I mean, I've only seen Sirius Ellis one time, and it was the day that I almost killed him with the hot sauce.
Oh, yeah.
And he
Oh,
looked at
yeah.
me and he yelled, and I was like, "Oh, Dad, no,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
It was just the yard. I was mowing the lawn."
And then 5 minutes later, he's
Dead.
on the floor.
Yeah.
In the bathroom.
Oh,
That's how
that's-
bad he was. He was laying on the
Did you
floor in
end
the
up taking
bathroom.
him to the hospital?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he took him to emergency room.
Did we? I took him.
Give
to
him
the
some
hospital.
milk.
Yeah, young man, give him some milk. He'll be fine. I was like, "We tried milk."
I'll always remember those faces. They just look like.
Can you bring up that clip, guys? Oh no! Bring up that clip when Jeremy Johns and Macuga.
So what happened? It was.
You've never seen this clip?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard you guys talk about this. It was a dare, or
It was a
or
game
video?
that
So
were
we
playing.
played this game called something shots or something.
They literally typed in Josh Macuga kills Mark Ellis, and this clip is the first one that comes up. All right, so it's very quick. So for those of you who didn't know, when we did the show Awesome-tacular for Verizon Go 90, we did this show, and so Macuga thought it would be funny to give these guys this like
hot sauce,
ultra hot sauce.
I didn't know how hot it was. I had no idea.
You should like.
Where did you get it?
It was just on a shelf.
All right, so let's
I
play
think
the.
it was sent to us.
Yes.
Yeah, the
From
whole,
the
we don't
Hot
wanna play
Ones people at Complex.
We don't want to play the whole bit, but let's go back a little bit. Is this all right?
Sriracha and
Yeah,
vinegar?
this is not the hot sauce yet.
You know, in the Roman
Let's see. This is it. This is it. This sauce 140 times. Oh, look, he chugs the whole thing. You're supposed to take a drop. A drop. Look at Ellis's face. Look at Ellis's face.
That one's soaking.
Yeah, you're supposed to take a drop. He went to the hospital because of that.
Can I get a recap?
I can't watch it. I
Watch,
can't
watch.
Judges.
Yeah, watch Ellis. He's done. He is-
Johns doesn't do it.
Johns does it. They were both in bad shape. Hey, Ellis is hurting. Watch. We couldn't finish the bit.
He's holding.
Look. Yeah, he's really hurting like bad. Like you're supposed to take Roxy. Hey,
Wait, John
look.
did it right now?
Yeah, he does afterwards.
Oh, after.
Yeah, he's calling for help. You're not supposed to drink like whatever.
can't- you gotta turn it off. I'm getting
No,
really
I gotta
uncomfortable.
show it. Watch. Now,
it's a
look,
period-
he's
hey,
hurting.
Iris, can you
Supposed to
do
do
that
it.
again?
You're supposed to do a drop, Roxy, like this.
Okay.
What she said.
Oh boy.
Watch. Now he does the whole thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, like 140 times higher
Ellis
than
is
traditional.
gone.
Yeah, he's done. He
Ellis
couldn't do
is
it.
gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, what? Look.
That's really hot, dude.
But John doesn't have to go to the hospital?
He was.
they both
No, he didn't go. John didn't go.
He did?
He was hurting though. He was sitting
Do you
on.
want to win? This is an easy win. He's out of the room.
No,
Okay.
look, he
The writer-
got John's got really ill though. John's took a nap on the chair.
Yeah.
The hotel movie.
Yeah, look, he's hurting right now.
Yeah.
Did he puke?
They both puked multiple times.
Yeah, look.
He's dry heaving.
Oh God.
It
Yeah,
was.
yeah. Look
I'll
at
never
John.
forget that studio. But like,
Yeah, look.
oh shit.
No, then he takes lime juice, which is like you shouldn't-
Remorse.
No,
Yeah.
that's better, right? Lime
No,
juice?
no.
it-
It doesn't neutralize it. It makes it worse. The
flares it
citric
out.
acid like destroys your stomach lining with the hot
God.
sauce.
The
I just don't like.
You can turn it off.
is actually
I didn't. Legitimately, it was just there was a cute. I have the hot sauce thing out here. I put some on my tongue. It ruined me for the rest of the day.
A drop.
A drop of
Yeah.
it. They took a shot of it, and it has this cute little dog on it. It says like 357 sauce. I don't know anything about it other than I'm supposed to make these shots and like make them taste bad. And I was like, oh, throw a little hot sauce in it.
A shot. Yeah, it was.
I can't believe that Johns did it after watching Ellis
Well,
and then Ellis grabbed me. Like I went outside. I'm like, dude, are you all right? And he's like, you can't do that. And I was like, oh god.
Oh yeah, he was pissed.
I did not do anything intentional. I had no intention of hurting them and nothing. I just.
Of course not,
It-
Macuga.
it
Of
was-
course
oh,
not.
I thought it was like Cholula, you know.
Macuga
You
was,
put it in there.
Macuga was devastated.
I mean, it's maybe one of the worst days of my life.
He was devastated. He had really hurt.
So wait, you bring him to the hospital. What do they do?
So
pumped his stomach, didn't they?
No. This is the funny part. Okay. So we go to the hospital. The waiting room over here in Burbank. The waiting room is kind of packed with people, and I bring Ellis in, and they are like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I was like, "He ate some really strong hot. He drank some really strong hot sauce." And the guy was like, "All right, sit down." And then you hear the nurse goes like, "I don't know, this guy like ate hot sauce." They were kind of making fun of him, and then he just gave him like lidocaine mixed with Mylanta in a shot glass
That was it.
twice,
And he
and
was
that was
good.
it, and he was fine. Because 2.5, 3 hours later, he was okay.
He came back on Schmoes.
He came back. Oh, we both did that night.
Well, you were fine.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
We both did.
But yeah, but he came back. He's like, I'm gonna do the show tonight. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'll just sit on the couch and do the show. I'm like, go home.
Right.
And he sat on the couch and we talked about it that night. But it's another one. You guys have a lot of stuff to watch today.
Yeah.
You can watch. All you got to do
That
apparently.
was painful to watch because I've never
hard.
seen him look like
Yeah.
that.
No,
Like
it was so hard.
he doesn't
bad.
call quits for anything.
Oh no.
So.
He bailed. He's done with it. Yeah,
He had to.
It's got to be one of the worst feelings ever.
And also that day in LA, that summer was one of the hottest days we had.
Yeah.
It was like 104 degrees in the valley. I
He
mean,
was
it crazy.
laying on the that
So
bathroom
what did he
floor.
describe it
was
as? Like his
disgusting.
stomach hurt, his throat hurt? Like,
Everything. He couldn't swallow, and then when he did swallow, he'd throw up.
Yeah.
It's like this stuff. So apparently, this is the hottest one that they use on hot ones, right? This sauce, and they use a little bit of a drop in it, and then they mix it in the buffalo wing sauce, and people freak out. Like
A drop.
Yeah, like Neil deGrasse Tyson walked off. It was too spicy for him, and that was just a drop mixed with other buffalo sauce. Mark and Jeremy took a shot of the sauce.
So about 2,000 of those little drops.
This has 357,000 on the Kelvin meter or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Tabasco is 10,000. This is 357,000. Pepper spray is 500,000. It is closer to pepper spray than it is Tabasco.
Yeah.
wow.
Who makes this? Who
should've-
are you monsters that make
Yeah.
You
this?
should have done that research before you gave him this.
True, but it had this like beautiful little dog on it.
It's clearly haunted.
I know.
The
Oh yeah.
dog-
Oh, no. I've known Macuga now almost 10 years, and like I've never seen him so. He was devastated.
There is I don't know if you guys ever watched BoJack Horseman on
Yes,
Netflix.
of course.
The dog on it looks like Mr. Peanut Butter. I'm like, it's Mr. Peanut Butter.
Right.
It's got to be.
I
good.
remember you saying that actually.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take. I'm never taking anything you give me. Let's including your headshot. Let's get some phone calls. Let's do one phone call and we'll do some tweets, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Let's do hashtag. What is on your paper there? What is that? Is that a tea
Yeah,
bag?
I don't know.
What is that?
I was just doing gross shit.
That's disgusting. What is
It
that?
was the tea bag and it got
Sunflower
wet,
seeds,
and then
right?
and then I ripped the tea bag, and then there was this corner that got wet too, and I
Just
don't like to
doodle,
have the
huh?
wet stuff, so then I push it. I had no pen. You know I have weird hand
Yeah, you just can't-
fixation
all right,
stuff.
all right,
So
fine.
I was ripping it up, and then I was rolling them in the balls.
Yeah. All right, go roll the balls. All right, here we go. Let's go to a phone call. You guys got a phone call?
No, hold up.
Oh, we got one.
Now, here we go.
All right, cool.
Hi.
Hi, you're in Collider.
Is this a
Who do we
girl?
got?
Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hey,
Jasmine.
You
No.
don't need to say it anymore.
Yeah, but
You
I'm
got
just
3.
excited.
Oh, fine. How are you, Jasmine? What do you got for us today?
I'm good. I have a comment and a question.
Okay.
I just wanted to say I love Roxy. I've been watching her since she did the recaps of Vampire Diaries.
Oh, wow.
So I used to watch her in that.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much, honey. That's so sweet.
Yeah, you're welcome. My question is for you, Kristian, and also Reilly. So I was wondering if you two saw Suspiria, and I know that Schnepp was really excited for it, and just wanted to know if you would think he'd liked it if you've seen it, because I know you guys haven't talked about it.
Yeah, no.
I know, like Haley loved it, and Perry was like okay about it.
Yeah.
I think Cobbster loved it too.
Cops, did you love it?
Yeah.
I did,
Loved
yes.
it.
Okay, yeah. See, no, I have not seen it. Like last night, it's funny that you didn't see this. Last night, because you're right, Schnepp did want to see it very badly, and he loved the trailer because he loved the original, and he was worried about the trailer. And then once it came out, he was excited to see it. So I would actually love to hear his thoughts, because I think from what I'm hearing from most people that knew his taste pretty well, that they think that he would have loved it. But I saw some of the last night at the Critics' Choice Awards. They showed some of the footage, and I said, to Perry. I was standing next to her, and I go, "That looks like a movie I just will probably never see." And she looked at me and she goes, "You shouldn't see it." She's like, "It's not." She said, "But that's for me. That's because of my
your
taste." But
Cobbster, do you have any idea if you would have liked it? Any thoughts?
I mean, the movie is really fucking metal.
Yeah.
Like it's out there.
Yeah.
And,
So, yes.
and I think you would have liked that aspect. I mean,
so
I don't
cool.
know how much he loved the original one.
Okay, cool.
But
That's all
yeah.
I want to say.
cool. And what did you think of Little Bobby and the Juice, the trailer?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
That's fine.
All right, if you watch, we talked about it this morning.
Okay.
I want everybody who's watched the show today to because he was on.
Yeah.
And we said, and so we
Oh,
have.
yeah.
Did you see the trailer yet?
It is on my tab. Once
Okay.
you guys are finished, I'm going to go see it.
And then leave it.
I
make
like
sure
that kind of respect.
I like that respect too. Leave a comment after. So all the fans.
Thanks for your call,
Thank you,
Jasmine. You're
Jasmine,
great.
very much.
Jasmine, you rock. Thanks, honey.
So we told people that they're probably going to be offended by it, but it's like we wanted comments. Do you think it's funny and offensive? Horrible and offensive? What are your thoughts when seeing this trailer?
Some
And there's
people said not offensive, but not many.
Not many. A lot of people thought it was offensive, but fun.
But they liked it.
Yeah,
and they want to see it.
It is
Remember
one of the
when he
most
sat
off the
down?
wall things you'll ever see.
He told me you wouldn't even retweet it.
No. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I love my friend Tom Dagnino, but I'm not going to retweet
I retweeted it. I think it's something for people. It does remind me of Team America. It really does.
Yeah.
It's that. I mean, some of those voices.
Yeah.
It's pretty unbelievable what he managed to do.
I
I'll
think
give
it's
him
a
that.
funny trailer.
He's been
It's
talking about
amazing.
doing this for like
I
3
know,
years.
forever.
He's been
Well,
doing it for
but
3
he
years.
got-
I've been getting to, all the times we hung out, he would give me these
But I'll tell
updates
you
and
why.
he'd show me.
I'll tell you why he got it done because his writing partner and my buddy Mike Citizen, who he was.
What a dope name.
Mike Citizen.
Yeah.
He was my.
Sounds like a Demolition Man type guy.
He was when I ran Thursday Night Fights. He was my undefeated champion. He was 5-0. He beat everybody. He was 5. He was a middleweight guy, and girls love this dude.
I love him already.
Girls loved this dude. Girls
Single?
might be now. Yeah, shit. Oh, that's dangerous. You too. But anyway, so Citizen started writing. He told him and Tom told me the story last night because he approached him. He's like, "Look, I want to do this thing, this Little Bobby thing," and then they did it. And the voices, some of the voices that they do, like, it's really funny. Anyway, so I can't wait to see all the comments. I'm gonna check as soon as I'm.
It's Adult Swim on
yes.
and
On
like-
steroids.
Yeah. On steroids,
Yeah.
yeah.
When I want to look at the comments when I get off here too, because we did a whole bunch of them already. What time is it, by the way?
It's 11:54.
Let's call it a day. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna wrap up the show. We'll be back tomorrow. We got any guests coming on this week?
Yeah.
Who we got?
We have Harley Quinn Smith.
Oh, that's great. Kevin Smith's daughter's
Brandon
coming in. That's
Meyer.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, really cool.
Both of them. Brandon Meyer.
Brendan Meyer's coming in
Yes.
too.
Both
Oh,
of
that's
them.
right. Brendan Meyer from
Together they're
He was-
promoting.
yeah.
So Brendan Meyer's a big Schmoedown guy, and he's actually going to be debuting this season. So it'd be great to have them on. That's amazing. Tomorrow on the show. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow, and I didn't tell you this, Booker T will also be calling in tomorrow too.
And
Booker T is going to be calling in. So it'll
About
be a big show.
anything in
Yeah, he made
particular?
his return to the ring.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. It's Collider Live. Thank you to Josh Macuga for joining us, Mark Reilly, Roxy Striar, the controversial Bob Finstock, the whole crew. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Sorry about that.